Tuesday, November 18th. Today on Your Morning Atlantic, Prime Minister Mark Carney's government narrowly survived a crucial budget vote last night and avoided sending Canadians to the polls this winter. Your top news headlines just ahead.
And endometriosis awareness. We'll speak with two Dalhousie nursing students about an upcoming screening and fundraiser that focuses on the often painful condition. That is in our second hour.
Plus, the baking queen of the county fair. We'll meet the woman known as Nova Scotia's most decorated baker. The sweet details and more coming up on the Tuesday edition of Your Morning Atlantic.
Good morning. It's Tuesday. Come on in. Category is themes of burgundy. So glad you could join us today. I want to shout out to our editors who create the opening sequence for Your Morning Atlantic. That Jack Russell, he pounces on his owner right to the beat.
Oh, it is adorable. And every time I see that fresh cup of coffee being poured, I think, I could go for another nice cup of coffee.
Absolutely.
I actually could go for another, as long as it's hot. I found it very cold coming into work today.
Oh, yeah. It still remains cold and breezy.
Okay,
So
yes,
fun.
it's the wind that'll get you. They've said that before, but there's something to it.
November's that weird month where you're not sure which jacket to grab for, but I do find I more often well, actually, we've been doing that rotation where it's like rain jacket one day, and then heavier kind of winterish jacket, but not the parka just yet.
I've already broken that out.
I don't know what's going to happen because I've already got like level 11 coat out and we're not there yet.
Exactly, yeah. I look like I'm wrapped in a duvet when I leave my house.
It looks cozy.
Cold. It is. It helps. So we are going to continue to see colder weather across the region, a wintry mix, but on the lighter side today, it's just a chance of showers and or flurries for much of the region. So here's a live look at Officer Square. We are going to see 0 heading outdoors in your area today, so still quite cold. And really that stretches right across Atlantic Canada today. Temperatures remaining below seasonal for most daytime highs into the afternoon as well. So there's a look at Fredericton early this morning, and we are going to see current temperatures continue to track low. There we go. Here's our current temperatures right now. So 2 degrees in Charlottetown, 1 in Halifax, 3 in Sydney, -1 as you head outdoors in Labrador City, 6 degrees into St. John's, Newfoundland. Over to our satellite and radar. So not as much of a wintry mix as we saw yesterday. Today we're looking at a chance of some showers and or flurries for much of the Maritime region. Still going to see mixed precipitation for parts of Newfoundland, and then for Labrador, for the most part, we are going to see periods of snow in your area. Wind will remain breezy yet again today. As of right now, sustained wind of 52 kilometers per hour in North Cape, 33 into Yarmouth with 26 in Charlottetown, as well as into Sydney, 24 in Halifax. Wind gusts getting up to 63 kilometers per hour right now in North Cape, 43 in Edmundston, 44 in Yarmouth, and 43 in Sydney. I'll have a look at your long-range forecast just ahead, but first a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. The House of Commons has narrowly passed Prime Minister Mark Carney's first budget, keeping the minority Liberal government in power. The 2025 spending plan survived by just 2 votes to avoid a winter election, 170 to 168. Green Party leader Elizabeth May backed the budget to avoid an election, saying she would support it after Carney committed to meeting Canada's Paris climate targets. We'll have more details on this in just a few minutes in national news. Back here at home, a 16-year-old youth is facing charges in connection with alleged threats directed at several people, including some students at Amherst Regional High School. After receiving details, local police say they executed a search warrant in Cumberland County on Friday, arresting the youth who was held for court. Police are notifying the individuals who were targeted, but they don't believe there's any ongoing danger to any of them. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Amherst Police Department. A 26-year-old Halifax man is facing a number of charges after an incident involving police Friday night. Police say an officer ran a license plate on a vehicle in a fast food parking lot just before midnight, and it wasn't associated with any vehicle. The officer approached to stop the driver, who backed up and sped away, striking the officer in the process. A short chase on Highway 102 was called off for safety reasons, but police arrested a suspect Saturday morning. He will face a judge at a later date. The family of a man whose body was recovered Sunday from the St. Croix River is speaking out. Police say 41-year-old McKay Thomas was spotted by officers in downtown St. Stephen on Saturday. They approached, but he fled, ultimately entering the water, where he went under and never resurfaced. Family members say they weren't even notified Thomas was missing until that night.
The family also has questions on protocol for a deceased body. We had to stand outside with McKay's body right here for over 2.5 hours, and there's just no dignity for us or for him, and it was heartbreaking.
Police have asked the Serious Incident Response Team to investigate the circumstances. A life sentence has been handed down for a man convicted in a fatal attack the judge called vicious and cowardly and fueled in part by drugs and alcohol. 38-year-old Alexander Charles Howe hosted a small get-together with friends in Spryfield on the night of August 15th, 2023. Tensions grew between him and partygoer Adam Jerome Dempsey, and around 2 a.m., Howe attacked Dempsey with a knife.
It was heinous, it was horrific, and a young man lost his life. The alcohol and drugs certainly were contributing factors here. Not an excuse, not a justification, but it does provide some insight and some explanation.
Howe will be eligible to apply for parole in 10 years, although the judge noted there's no guarantee it would be granted. Police in Cape Breton are closer to installing cameras in downtown areas and outfitting officers with body cams. The contract for the latter and police dash cams has been awarded to Axon, according to an update at the CBRM's Board of Police Commissioners. Police Chief Robert Walsh said the contract for stationary cameras in downtowns has also been signed. Police are aiming to have cameras in place by the new year.
We're waiting on delivery, and we'll have to do it as a staged implementation, so we'll probably do a gradual rollout. It's going to involve training. We'll want to hear feedback from the members, but my hope would be before end of the year.
It was also revealed that Police Chief Walsh will be retiring on New Year's Day. No reason was given for his decision, although he does have 35 years of policing experience. Finally, this year's Giller Prize winner has been announced. Suvankam Tamavongsa has won the Giller Prize for the second time, earning the $100,000 award for her novel, Pick a Color. Pick a Color follows a day in the life of Ning, a nail technician and former boxer who challenges stereotypes about women like her. This year's jury called the author one of the most vital literary voices of the moment. The last time she won this award was for, how to pronounce knife. That was it. Yeah. So, and Crystal, you have this book at home.
I have the book on my kitchen table right now. Yeah, I picked it up and I couldn't put it down. It's really good.
Wow.
So nice. Sometimes, you know, when like the Oscars come out and you just haven't seen the movies, it's fun when you've actually read the book that wins the award.
And you're like, exactly. Well, I know why, and I support that win too. Yeah. So it's another book to add to the reading list.
Add it to the list. Yeah. Well, this is, you know, we love a good fossil discovery on our show.
Yeah, we do.
Well, this is a remarkable one out of Brazil. Check it out. Okay, this is the creature that they found the fossil of. Oh, yeah. Researchers in Brazil have discovered a 240 million-year-old reptile fossil that they say offers insights to the origin of modern crocodiles. So this one measured as much as 2.5 meters long and lived in southern Brazil during the Triassic period. It walked on 4 legs, and researchers know it was a predator because of the nasty teeth.
No kidding.
The fossil has similarities to one found in Tanzania, which gives more support to the idea that the continents were once all connected.
Wow.
Okay, so this is like a little guy.
Well, that may be the actual pieces. They say that the creature, it's hard to tell, but no, look at his spine, Latavia.
I don't even know why I bother to speak sometimes.
2.5 meters.
So
That's
off from
pretty
what
big. How big is 2.5 meters? It's like almost like 10 feet to 3 meters. So like it's you wouldn't want it to like show up in your backyard.
I thought it was just like a nasty little mean.
Like a little, like a little
compy or something, like the compies, whatever they call them. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. Here I was just thinking, like, boy, that looks like a mean Komodo dragon.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
The body of a dog. Oh my gosh, that's so
funny.
okay. That is so funny. You know what? When you do your weather, I'm going to get you a cup of coffee.
I just got one. But I haven't drank it yet.
As
So
it's
give me some credit there.
It's got to kick in.
It's like, am I here or am I not? I don't know.
What is life? Okay, coming up, we'll have your national and international headlines, and Latavia will have your first full look at the forecast. Good morning to you, Auntie Ganesh. Looks like a calm start to the day. The forecast is coming up.
Welcome back. The time now is 6:13 on this Tuesday morning. Taking a live look at a dark start to the day over at McAdam. 0 starting off your day, so it is going to remain quite cold in your area. For our daytime highs still remaining below seasonal. You can see that snow on the ground. That will not be the case for today. You'll be seeing a mix of sun and cloud throughout your day. Weather is brought to you by the Atlantic Lottery mobile app. It's cold right across the region. Keep that in mind when you are heading out this morning. -1 starting off your day in Fredericton with 2 degrees in Charlottetown, 1 in Halifax with 3 degrees in Sydney, -1 in Labrador City, and 5 degrees into St. John's, Newfoundland. Over to our forecast timeline. We are still dealing with a low pressure system. For the maritime region, for the most part, we will be seeing a bit more sunshine today as the sun begins to rise, but we do have some mixed precipitation still tracking in our forecast at around a 20 to 60% chance of it happening, around flurries and or showers across parts of all 3 maritime provinces. For Labrador, a little bit heavier of that snowfall still continues. And then for Newfoundland, looking at periods of rain, also going to see some mixed precipitation as we head towards the afternoon, but not as much as Labrador and into the maritime region, actually. Into the afternoon, much of the same expected. We will be seeing increasing cloudiness and still being left with a bit of precipitation. But like I said, it's a very low chance of it happening. Starting to really clear out into Tuesday night. Temperatures remain very cold, taking us into early Wednesday. We do have sunshine returning in the forecast for much of the region. If you're wondering about rainfall totals, we're not going to see any for the maritime region. It's going to remain quite light. For Newfoundland and Labrador, only seeing around 2 to 5 and then 2 to 10 being the heaviest into Port aux Basques. For our snowfall look, same thing applies, only seeing around 1 to 5 centimeters of snowfall accumulation in parts of Cape Breton Island, and same thing goes for Labrador City. So for our forecast today, we are seeing sunshine across parts of New Brunswick, and then going to see a 60% chance of some scattered flurries for the northern region. Other than that, it's going to remain quite cold across the province. For Prince Edward Island, daytime highs between 3 to 4 degrees, mainly cloudy skies across the province with 50 kilometers per hour for our wind gusts. And then for Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, same thing applies. Daytime highs range from 3 to 6 degrees. We are looking at some scattered showers and or flurries with wind gusts of up to 40. For the rest of Nova Scotia, we are going to see some isolated flurries expected throughout the day today with highs between 3 to 6 degrees. And then for Labrador City, we're looking at -1 is your daytime high, looking at periods of snow throughout your day. 8 degrees for St. John's, Newfoundland, looking at a chance of showers throughout your day as well. Wednesday's forecast remains quite cold yet again. We are going to see sunshine for parts of all 3 maritime provinces, a bit cloudier for other areas. And then for Newfoundland and Labrador, still remains quite cloudy. We do have some isolated flurries and also some mixed precipitation for parts of Newfoundland. That's a look at your weather forecast. We'll throw things over to Amanda for your national and international news headlines.
Thank you, Latavia. There will not be a holiday election after the Liberals narrowly survived a crucial vote on the budget last night. CTV's Abigail Beeman has details on how the political drama unfolded in the House.
Yeas pour 170, 170. Nays contre 168, 163.
A Liberal minority government on the razor's edge of a majority, 170 seats to the opposition's combined 173, survives this budget confidence test with a tight vote result.
This is not about us. This is about Canadians. And the vast, vast, vast majority of Canadians want us to try to make this parliament work. They do not want an election.
2 of 7 NDP MPs abstained from voting, Gord Johns and Laurie Idloot. So did 2 Conservatives, Shannon Stubbs, whose office said she was on approved medical leave, and Matt Generou, who announced his resignation after floor-crossing rumors.
Mr. Speaker, I was unable to use my app. I would like to vote no.
2 more Conservative MPs initially appear to have abstained, citing technical difficulties, including House Leader Andrew Scheer.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, I had technical difficulty. I would like to vote no.
They were both in the House as well. So one could possibly surmise that maybe they were waiting to see which way the vote was going to go themselves before they decided if they were going to abstain or if they were going to vote against it.
The only opposition member to vote with the government?
Can he confirm here on the floor of this House that in past passing this budget, the government is committed to holding to as far below 2 degrees as possible.
Green Party leader Elizabeth May, who said this exchange in question period.
I can confirm to this House that we will respect our Paris commitments for climate change, and we're determined to achieve them.
Was enough to win her support for this one vote. It all boils down to the minority Liberal government surviving for now, avoiding a Christmas election.
CTV's Abigail Beeman reporting in Ottawa. Canada's inflation rate cooled slightly in October, dropping to 2.2% from 2.4% in September. Statistics Canada says cheaper fuel and grocery prices led to the decline. Meanwhile, Canadians saw higher prices for cellular services and home and auto insurance. The Bank of Canada has cited stable inflation as one of the reasons it may not cut interest rates next month. Canada may not reach its goal of eliminating cervical cancer by 2040. That is according to a new report by StatsCan and the Canadian Cancer Society. While cancer rates are falling, cervical cancer deaths have plateaued, even though there is a vaccine available. The report's co-author says cervical cancer is almost entirely preventable. Meanwhile, breast cancer mortality rates declined by 1.5%. because more women are getting mammograms and have better access to treatment. 2 people have been arrested in connection with hundreds of thefts at mausoleums and cemeteries in the Toronto area. As CTV's Rahim Ladani reports, the thieves would heartlessly dump ashes while stealing jewelry and other valuables.
The Last Supper Mausoleum is one of at least 8 across the Greater Toronto area, which police say has been robbed in recent months.
I was outraged. You stole from the dead. What kind of person are you? Those are the words of a grieving family member, a victim of an absolutely heinous crime.
Halton police say this wasn't a crime of opportunity, but one that took meticulous planning, accusing 45-year-old John Rutch and 31-year-old Jordan Noble of going to cemeteries in broad daylight, often posing as grieving family members. Police allege they would then enter mausoleums and use a tool to break the niche compartments open, stealing jewelry, decorative urns, and even discarding human ashes.
At this point in time, we have reasonable grounds to lay 3 charges for indignity to a dead body.
Police believe the pair committed more than 300 thefts from cremation niches across Toronto, Oakville, Burlington, and the Niagara region. On November 7th, police executed a search warrant at a motel in Niagara Falls. They arrested the duo and found thousands of dollars worth of stolen property. These are nearly 600 of the stolen items which have been recovered by police. Everything from watches to necklaces to very personal keepsakes. And this is just a fraction of the recovered goods because the accused have admitted to melting down many other pieces. The Ontario Association of Cemetery and Funeral Professionals says together with our members, we will continue working collaboratively with law enforcement and our regulator to ensure Ontario's places of remembrance remain safe, secure, and dignified. Investigators believe there are likely other victims who aren't yet aware their niche has been robbed.
And we encourage anyone who may not have been to the site of a loved one recently to check in and ensure it's still secure.
Hundreds of recovered items are now being cataloged and returned to families. But investigators lament many stolen items have likely already been sold at pawn shops. Halton police say the 2 individuals accused of these crimes were actually on release in relation to another theft when these crimes were committed. The pair are now facing a combined 85 charges. Rahim Ladani, CTV News.
Thank you, Rahim. A quick break here. When we return, we'll have your must-see moment from our colleagues at TSN. That and your business headlines on the other side of this break. Please stay with us.
Welcome back. It's 6:25 and time to check in with our friends at TSN Sports Centre for today's must-see moment.
Hello there, Adam Scully here inside the TSN Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Monday. And for it, we go to Toronto. Hornets and the Raptors. Brandon Ingram takes it to the rim and throws down the massive jam on Ryan Kalkbrenner, the 7-footer that couldn't do anything to stop Ingram on that play. Puts him on a poster. He had a game high 27, highlighted by that monster dunk. And it is your must-see moment from Monday. And tonight on TSN, international friendly Canada taking on Venezuela. Pre-game begins at 7:30 Eastern. That's all from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
This TSN must-see moment brought to you by J.R. Rahe's Furniture and Appliances.
Now over to your business headlines with our colleagues at BNN.
Fewer Canadian homes changed hands last month compared to a year earlier. There was a 4.3% drop in sales in October, but month to month, home sales were up about 1%. Sales were up in BC, Alberta, and Quebec, but down in Ontario, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba. The national average sale price in October was just over $690,000. Headline inflation came in at 2.2% in October. It was 2.4% in September. Gas was less expensive last month, which helped bring inflation down. Shoppers also got a break on fresh vegetables and processed food, but paid more for frozen and fresh chicken. A new poll by a group called Snowbird Advisors shows a 15% drop in the number of Canadians heading to the U.S. this winter. Instead, snowbirds who seek the sun will jet to countries like Mexico or Spain. The U.S. government's tariffs and treatment of travelers is turning Canadians away. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is up to 71.17. West Texas Intermediate crude is down just 9 cents to 59.86. Western Canadian Select is up $1.55 to 48.45. And the TSX is down another 250 points today to 30,076. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
Taking a look at our 3-day forecast for today. For much of New Brunswick, looking at a mix of sun and cloud, we do have scattered flurries for the northern region with a high of 3 degrees. On Wednesday, lots of sunshine with increasing cloudiness. And then on Thursday, looking at sunny skies with a high of 4. For Nova Scotia today, we're looking at a chance of showers and/or flurries with a high of 4 degrees. On Wednesday, a high of 6. Much of the same expected for the northern region. And then into Thursday, looking at sunshine with a chance of showers into the evening. Prince Edward Island looking at mainly cloudy skies today with a high of 4. Daytime high remains at 4 on Wednesday with mainly sunny skies. Sunshine continues in our forecast for Thursday. Time now, 6:28. We'll be right back.
Just ahead in this half hour, the Move Morning Chat. Today we want to know about memorable weddings you've attended. We know you've got some stories. That conversation just ahead on CTV's Your Morning Atlantic.
Good morning. It is 6:31 on your Tuesday morning. Amanda, Crystal, and Latavia with you. And if you are newlywed or you're getting married soon, congratulations to you. We wish you a lifetime of happiness. You don't hear of too many weddings in November, do you?
No.
No, my sister, one of my sisters, I've got 3 of them, and her husband, Adam, they did get married in November. And it was a cold, rainy November day, but it was a beautiful wedding. And we had mentioned this yesterday, the Beauty Inside, the brewery market in downtown Halifax.
Yeah.
They did a bunch of photos in there, and they looked stunning.
Oh,
okay,
cool.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay. I have so many questions, but we have no time for that right now. We got to get to weather.
Yeah, the weather. Says if it rains on your wedding day, it's good luck.
I've heard that.
Yeah, it's true. All right, today we are still seeing a chance of some showers and/or flurries for much of the Maritime region. Quite low and spotty in its activity, though. Here's a live look at Moncton. A dark start to your day, currently 0. And we are actually going to see sunshine return in the forecast when the sun begins to rise for parts of New Brunswick. So for the most part, another cold day ahead. Keep that in mind when you are heading out. You will want those layers. 2 degrees right now in Charlottetown, 3 in Sydney, 1 in Halifax, and 5 degrees starting off your day in St. John's, Newfoundland. Here's a look at our satellite and radar. So we do have that low chance of some mixed precipitation for parts of the Maritime region. For Labrador, still seeing periods of snow. And then for Newfoundland, for the most part, we will be seeing rain throughout your day. In terms of the wind, it will continue to pick up yet again today. As of right now, 54 kilometers per hour in North Cape, 33 into Yarmouth, with 31 in Halifax, 30 into Canso. Wind gusts of up to 50 kilometers per hour into Yarmouth, 43 in Edmonton, as well as into Charlottetown, 41 in Sydney and Halifax. We'll have another look at your long-range forecast, but first another look at your local news with Amanda.
Thanks, Latavia. We begin in Ottawa. The House of Commons has narrowly passed Prime Minister Mark Carney's first budget, keeping the minority Liberal government in power. The 2025 spending plan survived by just 2 votes to avoid a winter election. The votes, 170 to 168. Green Party leader Elizabeth May backed the budget to avoid an election, saying she would support it after Carney committed to meeting Canada's Paris climate targets. The family of a man whose body was recovered Sunday from the St. Croix River are speaking out. Police say 41-year-old McKay Thomas was spotted by officers in downtown St. Stephen on Saturday. They approached, but he fled, ultimately entering the water where he went under and never resurfaced. Family members say they weren't even notified Thomas was missing until that night.
The family also has questions on protocol for a deceased body. We had to stand outside with Mackay's body right here for over 2.5 hours, and there's just no dignity for us or for him, and it was heartbreaking.
Police have asked the Serious Incident Response Team to investigate the circumstances. A life sentence has been handed down for a man convicted in a fatal attack the judge called vicious and cowardly and fueled in part by drugs and alcohol. 38-year-old Alexander Charles Howe hosted a small get-together with friends in Spryfield on the night of August 15, 2023. Tensions grew between him and partygoer Adam Jerome Dempsey. And around 2 a.m., Howe attacked Dempsey with a knife.
It was heinous, it was horrific, and a young man lost his life. The alcohol and drugs certainly were contributing factors here. Not an excuse, not a justification, but it does provide some insight and some explanation.
Howe will be eligible to apply for parole in 10 years, although the judge noted there's no guarantee it would be granted. Nova Scotia is cracking down on illegal seafood by launching a new compliance unit to monitor activity at the wharfs and in seafood plants. Nova Scotia's lobster industry generates $1.3 billion in exports every year, but an estimated $400 million worth is never reported. And officials say that has to change.
30% of annual lobster landings in Atlantic Canada go unreported. This represents up to $400 million in lost taxable income for Nova Scotia.
There's going to be eyes on the wharf looking at each transaction. There's going to be eyes looking at the records that are going into the department, which we are by a regulation required to submit.
The 4 new designated inspectors will move over from their current positions in DNR, so there's no budget implications. A 26-year-old Halifax man is facing a number of charges after an incident involving police Friday night. Police say an officer ran a license plate on a vehicle in a fast food parking lot just before midnight, and it was not associated with any vehicle. The officer approached to stop the driver, who backed up and sped away, striking the officer in the process. A short chase on Highway 102 was called off for safety reasons, but police arrested a suspect the next morning. He will face a judge at a later date. New Brunswick Premier Susan Holt says a new package is coming from the federal government to help offset losses in the softwood lumber industry. She didn't reveal any specifics, but says the issue was discussed in a virtual First Minister's meeting with the Prime Minister Monday.
I was pleased to hear Prime Minister Carney state that a new package is coming that he described as significant. So our industry will be looking forward to hearing more details about that as quickly as possible.
Holt is in Newfoundland with the Eastern Premiers and the New England Governors. She says everyone acknowledged the Canada-U.S. relationship is at a low point right now. Finally, the Sea Dogs will be rushing up the St. John River to play a few home games in Fredericton. It's a chance to show off the junior game and also test the waters for possible Q League expansion to the capital.
November 30th, we have the Capital City Series in Fredericton, the first time that CHL hockey is being, CHL regular season hockey is being played in Fredericton.
So a total of 3 junior hockey games will be played at the Aiken Center over the next few months, which is home to the UNB Reds. In the past year, the Acadie Bathurst T10, they moved to Newfoundland, leaving just the Sea Dogs and Moncton Wildcats playing for the Q League in New Brunswick. So November 30th is going to be the first game where you're going to see the Sea Dogs in Fredericton.
Very exciting.
Fun.
Yeah.
Love the Sea Dogs. Sea Dogs. We are fans around here.
Yeah,
all the teams.
All the teams. Well,
know,
you can see them in Fredericton, which is exciting.
It's very exciting.
Yeah.
All right, this is an interesting medical advancement, kind of neat. Artificial organs, they're not yet reliable for human transplant, but they are getting better for practice. Check this out. A team in the UK have created a line of highly realistic artificial organs. And right now there are models available for fields including cardiology, ENT, and urology. The team says using models will make surgical training more ethical, cheaper, and less risky.
Wow.
So these, and you know, with the tools they have today, they can make the artificial organs very, very, very realistic.
Wow, great.
I don't know what that is. It looks a bit like, I don't know what that, brain maybe? Oh, liver? Liver, I bet.
You know what? Let's call a medical student.
Well, yeah, but it's. I think this is great because they can.
Wow.
You know, there's for example, that looks like maybe a heart.
Wow.
It's just really interesting.
Wow.
Anyway, the further they get ahead with these medical advancements, you know, the better we'll all be.
A special thank you to everyone who does work in the healthcare field. Wow.
Thank you. Yes.
You gotta know what you're doing, and we appreciate it.
So true.
Okay, we're gonna have your entertainment headlines, but coming up next, it is the Move Morning Chat. And today we wanna know, what's the most memorable experience you've had at a wedding? It could be your wedding, someone else's. We want to hear about it. 10400 is the number. You can send us a text. Your Morning Atlantic will be right back after this short break. Oh, I can't wait to share this story. It's about my friend Heather and Justin. We'll tell you about it next.
Good morning, Atlantic Canada. The time now is 6:43. We're taking a live look at the Armdale Roundabout in Halifax. It is cold starting off your day at 1 degree, and we are expecting a chance of some isolated showers throughout the day. Something to keep in mind when you are heading out. Bundle up. So we are seeing cooler temperatures right across the board. As of right now, -1 when you head outdoors in Fredericton, 0 over in Moncton with 2 degrees in Charlottetown, 3 in Sydney, 4 starting off your day in Yarmouth with -1 in Labrador City, 3 degrees over in Corner Brook, and 5 starting off your day in St. John's, Newfoundland. Over to our forecast timeline. So we are seeing a cloudier start to the day for parts of the region. So parts of New Brunswick and also parts of Prince Edward Island will be seeing a mix of sun and cloud early in the morning as the sun begins to rise. Other than that, though, we do have a chance of some mixed precipitation returning for parts of all 3 maritime provinces. Into the northern region of New Brunswick, we are expecting a chance of flurries and then seeing that mixed precipitation for parts of Nova Scotia, Cape Breton Island. And then for much of Labrador, looking at periods of snow throughout the day. And for Newfoundland, looking at a bit of mixed precipitation, but for the most part, seeing periods of rain. Into the afternoon and then into the evening, we start to see that low pressure system really begin to clear out of the maritime region. Another cold night ahead for the Maritimes, and we are going to see increasing cloudiness taking us into early Wednesday morning. We do have a sunny day ahead for much of the region. It's going to remain quite cold. If you're wondering about precipitation totals, not really going to see any accumulate for the Maritimes. And then for Labrador, looking at around 2 to 5 millimeters, and for parts of Newfoundland, looking at 2 to 10. Over to our snowfall outlook. We are going to see around 1 to 5 centimeters for parts of Cape Breton Island and are going to only see 1 to 5 for Labrador City. For forecast today for New Brunswick, seeing a lot of sunshine for much of the province. We do have a chance of some scattered flurries into the northern region with highs ranging from 2 to 5 degrees. And then for Prince Edward Island, looking at mainly cloudy skies today with highs between 3 to 4 and wind gusts of up to 50. Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, much of the same. We are expecting a chance of showers and or flurries throughout your day. Daytime highs between 3 to 6 degrees and wind up to 40 kilometers per hour for our gusts. Then for the rest of Nova Scotia, isolated flurries expected throughout the day today. Could see some pockets of sunshine into the afternoon. And then for Labrador, looking at a high of -1. Labrador City seeing periods of snow throughout your day, and 8 degrees for St. John's at Newfoundland, looking at a chance of showers throughout your day. For Wednesday's forecast, we are going to see lots of sunshine for the Maritime region, still holding on to a chance of showers for parts of the region as well. And then for Labrador, still seeing periods of snow, as well as into parts of Newfoundland, looking at some isolated flurries. Into Thursday's forecast, much of the same. We are going to see a lot of sunshine for parts of all 3 maritime provinces, a bit cloudier into Newfoundland and Labrador. That's a look at your weather forecast. We'll throw things over to the Move Morning Chat.
It's the Tuesday edition of the Move Morning Chat, and this is a very special edition too. We're talking about memorable weddings, and Peter, we're starting with you for this story.
Okay, and the reason why you're starting with me is I've just returned from a wedding weekend. My son Ben and his new bride Emma got married on the weekend in Ontario, in Lindsay, Ontario. So memorable things at their wedding. I want to say that this wedding that happened in Ontario had a real East Coast vibe to start with. There were thistles in the flower arrangements. There was Nova Scotia tartan as part of the ring for the napkin. And we taught a bunch of Ontarians how to sing Barrett's Privateers from the beginning.
So good.
But the one thing from this wedding, and maybe this happens at a lot of weddings, I don't know, but it was the first time that I saw it, that Ben and Emma had at their wedding, was a phone near the back of the reception room where you could pick it up and leave a message for the bride and groom that they will have, potentially, for as long as they're together, a nice long life together, and we'll be able to go back and hear the well wishes, actual verbal well wishes from the folks who attended the wedding.
Lovely.
Oh, so memorable. And I mean, love seeing all the photos from that gorgeous wedding. When we talk about memorable moments from weddings, I mean, I'm at an age where I'm going to a lot of weddings right now. My, family and friends. Mine is way less sentimental. I just love the food that they bring out late night post dance party. I'll never forget the first time I went to a wedding and they just rolled through like $500 worth of McDonald's cheeseburgers. Just this past summer, I went to a wedding and they had a food truck roll up at 11 p.m. and it stayed there till 2 in the morning. And it was like the highlight of everyone's night. So not as, sentimental, but I love those late night snacks at a wedding. I find that to be so much fun.
I'm with you too. And we got married, Mike and I, in 2014. And I feel like that was like when the late night snack thing was taking off. So we had that too. It was a hit. Happy about it. I want to share a story from my friend Heather's wedding. Heather, Snow, and Justin, they also got married around 2014. It was a beautiful wedding, beautiful couple. The best surprise happened when they did their initial dance as husband and wife. And the music kind of stopped, and instead a man walked in with a guitar to play the music instead. Well, that man was Adam Baldwin.
Wow.
Wow.
Yes, it was a Saturday night. My friend Heather is a huge Adam Baldwin fan, and he came just him singing a song, playing the guitar, and you should have seen her when she was dancing with her new husband because she just kept turning around her head to look at Adam Baldwin and saying, like, is he actually here playing at my wedding?
Wow.
It is just one of my favorite wedding guest memories.
That's wonderful. I'll give a quick one from my own wedding, kind of the late snack thing. We got married on New Year's Eve, and they rolled out this kind of dessert bar, but it was pretty late, and my husband and I were like kind of leaving, where everybody comes out to say goodbye. But the night was starting to, they went back to eat. There were a lot of leftover treats.
Yeah.
So my one friend is crazy, and he filled his pockets he's wearing cargo pants to the wedding, filled his pockets with treats, and then we were gone, but I guess at the end of the night he was on somebody's car hanging on the windshield wipers and whipping their treats at people as they went by. The night got a little crazy, but it was a good, people still talk about the wedding. It was a fun party.
I love that.
Oh my gosh. Well, those were some really wonderful stories, and we want you to pick up your phone and text us the most memorable thing that you have seen at a wedding, whether you were a guest, whether it was your wedding, something else. We would love to share the story. You can send us a text, 10400, and we will share your text later in the show.
The #1 morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and
Amateur Alex, and home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station, 101.3 Virgin Radio.
Time now for your entertainment headlines, and for that, we're going to head over to Hollywood.
It's officially holiday season, at least according to Mariah Carey. The All I Want for Christmas singer has released a new vinyl printing of her 2010 holiday album, Merry Christmas to You, and is out with a festive video starring comedian Billy Eichner. The cast of Wicked for Good reaching the end of the yellow brick road. Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande brought their magic to New York City for the film's final premiere Monday night, alongside their co-stars and director John M. Chu, who says the message of the film is needed now.
Isn't that the great thing about timeless stories, that they're always timely? It's about humanity and what happens when you have powerful and powerless, and the tendencies that we head towards.
Wicked for Good hits theaters on November 21st. Moana is getting a live-action remake, and the first trailer is now out. It stars newcomer Catherine Lagaya in the title role, and Dwayne Johnson will reprise his role as Maui from the original animated film. The live-action film by Walt Disney Animation Studios comes out in July of next year. Disney is the parent company of ABC. And happy birthday to Owen Wilson. The actor known for his roles in comedies like Zoolander and Wedding Crashers is 57. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
I'm the voice of Lightning McQueen in Disney Pixar Cars. Ka-chow. All right. Let's talk about your local news headlines now. Happening now, Prime Minister Mark Carney's government narrowly passed a crucial budget vote last night with 4 MPs abstaining and Green Party leader Elizabeth May supporting the minority Liberals. Plus, New Brunswick is on track to be a national leader in MS care. The province will be the second in the country to offer a new test that will provide MS patients with faster results. Plus, curbside recycling in Nova Scotia is set to change on December 1st. Those details coming up next in your local news headlines. But first, it's a look at the 3-day forecast with Latavia.
Thanks, Amanda. Another cold day ahead for New Brunswick. We will be seeing sunshine for much of the province. We do have some scattered flurries for the north. And then on Wednesday, sunshine across the province, increasing cloudiness into the afternoon, leaving mainly cloudy skies with a high of 3 yet again. And then on Thursday, sunny skies across the province, a high of +4. For Nova Scotia, looking at a chance of showers and/or flurries across the province with a high of 4 degrees. Wednesday, looking at a high of 6. Sunshine for much of the province. For Cape Breton, looking at a chance of showers and/or flurries returning. On Thursday, we're looking at a mix of sun and cloud, evening showers with a high of 5. Prince Edward Island looking at a high of 4 degrees with mainly cloudy skies today. On Wednesday, daytime high remains the same. We will be seeing sunshine return for the province. And then on Thursday, sunny skies across the island with the daytime high remaining at 4. Time now, 6:57. We'll be right back.
It's Tuesday, November 18th. Today on Your Morning Atlantic, Prime Minister Mark Carney's government narrowly survived the crucial budget vote last night and avoided sending Canadians to the polls this winter. Your top news headlines just ahead.
And Below the Belt, that's the name of a film being screened in Halifax this week that deals with endometriosis. We'll get the details on the film and a panel discussion coming up in this half hour. Those stories and more are coming up in Your Morning Atlantic.
Welcome back. The time now is 7 o'clock, a whole new hour on this Tuesday morning. Thank you so much for joining us. It's another cold day ahead, but that's what you get here in November.
It's November. I saw a funny meme the other day, and it said, when the moon hits your eye and it's 5:45, that's November.
That's November.
But it's so true.
It is so true. And November's just like so on par. Like it's gray, the beautiful leaves are gone.
Yeah.
Some days it's cold and rainy. Other days it's just cold. Regardless, it's going to be cold.
Exactly.
It's been cold and rainy and windy a lot. I guess we're making up for lost time.
Apparently, yeah. The only thing that kind of keeps you going in November is like the holiday cheer, getting ready for Christmas. And then after that's done, you're like, what do I do?
Yeah. How do I go on?
Yeah.
I went to the malls yesterday for the first time, and it was really fun. All the decorations are out, and the holiday music was playing, and it was a delightful escape.
Yes, I definitely agree with you there. It's nice to see all the lights going up and
yes,
very fun times. All right, so in terms of your day today, what I just described. It's cold. Yeah, it's going to remain cold. We are seeing a chance of some showers and or flurries for the maritime region, a very low chance of it happening. And then for Newfoundland and Labrador, we are going to see some precipitation move through there as well in the form of snow and rain.
Right.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people also keeping a close eye on the forecast, not only because of what to do with their day, but people seem to be putting up their decorations earlier and earlier, and you hear people say, I want to put them out before it gets too cold or too wet.
Yeah.
For sure. That's what we're kind of dealing with. It's going to remain quite cold. Ending off the week, actually, we will be seeing temperatures rise just a bit. As of right now, though, over in Port aux Basques, we are looking at a high of 3 degrees, a very gloomy start to your day. We are expecting showers in your area throughout the day today as well. Keep that in mind when you are heading out because roads are wet. As of right now, a bit cooler into Fredericton, -1 starting off your day, 0 in Moncton, -1 in St. John, New Brunswick, 2 degrees in Charlottetown with 1 in Halifax, and -1 in Labrador City, 5 degrees into St. John's. Over to our satellite and radar. So as I had mentioned, we do have a chance of some showers and or flurries tracking across parts of the maritime region, but we will be seeing a bit of sunshine for parts of New Brunswick as well. And then for Newfoundland and Labrador, still dealing with some mixed precipitation, a bit heavier in terms of what we're seeing for the Maritimes, but still will remain quite light. In terms of the wind, though, that will be picking up for the Maritimes. As of right now, 54 kilometers per hour for sustained wind in North Cape, 30 into Canso with 31 in Moncton, 33 into Yarmouth. In terms of wind gusts, it will be getting up to 46 kilometers per hour in Charlottetown, 43 in Moncton, 50 into Yarmouth, and 39 in Bathurst. We'll have another look at your long-range forecast just ahead, but first a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thanks, Latavia. The House of Commons has narrowly passed Prime Minister Mark Carney's first budget, keeping the minority Liberal government in power. The 2025 spending plan survived by just 2 votes to avoid a winter election. Green Party leader Elizabeth May backed the budget to avoid that election, saying she would support it after Carney committed to meeting Canada's Paris climate targets. We'll have more details on this in just a few minutes in national news. In New Brunswick, the family of a man whose body was recovered Sunday from the St. Croix River is speaking out. Police say 41-year-old McKay Thomas was spotted by officers in downtown St. Stephen on Saturday. They approached, but he fled, ultimately entering the water where he went under and never resurfaced. Family members say they weren't even notified Thomas was missing until that night.
The family also has questions on protocol for a deceased body. We had to stand outside with Ms. Kai's body right here for over 2.5 hours, and there's just no dignity for us or for him, and it was heartbreaking.
Police have asked the Serious Incident Response Team to investigate the circumstances. In Halifax, a life sentence has been handed down for a man convicted in a fatal attack the judge called vicious and cowardly and fueled in part by drugs and alcohol. 38-year-old Alexander Charles Howe hosted a small get-together with friends in Spryfield on the night of August 15th, 2023. Tensions grew between him and party-goer Adam Jerome Dempsey, and around 2 a.m., Howe attacked Dempsey with a knife.
It was heinous, it was horrific, and a young man lost his life. The alcohol and drugs certainly were contributing factors here. Not an excuse, not a justification, but it does provide some insight and some explanation.
Howe will be eligible to apply for parole in 10 years, although the judge noted there's no guarantee it would be granted. In Cape Breton, police are closer to installing cameras in downtown areas and outfitting officers with body cams. The contract for the latter and police dash cams has been awarded to Axon, according to an update at the CBRM's Board of Police Commissioners. Police Chief Robert Walsh said the contract for stationary cameras in downtowns has also been signed. Police are aiming to have cameras in place by the new year.
We're waiting on delivery, and we'll have to do it as a staged implementation, so we'll probably do a gradual rollout. It's going to involve training. We'll want to hear feedback from the members, but my hope would be before end of the year.
It was also revealed that Police Chief Walsh will be retiring on New Year's Day. No reason was given for his decision, although he does have 35 years of policing experience. To health news now, New Brunswick is on track to be a national leader in MS care. The province will be just the second in the country to offer a biomarker blood test that will provide multiple sclerosis patients with fast results.
So once we have an in-house, in the province, this test, when a patient comes to the emergency room, we'll set the blood test like any other blood test. And then we can have the results back in a timely fashion and we'll react on the treatment of this patient.
The savings are in a more rapid diagnosis so that you are not waiting for an MRI. You have a test that gives you a result instantly. MRI is subject to interpretation and subject to delays. This gives us a more rapid quantitative response on where you are with your MS.
The lab at the Chalmers Hospital in Fredericton will have the capability to do the test next year. Over 90,000 Canadians are living with MS. Curbside recycling in Nova Scotia is set to change on December 1st. That's when new provincial regulations come into effect, broadening the list of items households can put out for recycling. New items include multi-layer paper containers like ice cream cartons or cookie dough spiral cans, and plastic tubes like toothpaste and deodorant. The new regulations aim to shift operational and financial responsibility for recycling packaging and paper products onto the companies that sell and produce them. Finally, how did life start on Earth? A new exhibit is tracing all the way back to how a massive asteroid strike 66 million years ago wiped out most life on this planet. The American Museum of Natural History is combining fossils, life-size models, and immersive displays to tell the story of what its curator calls the worst day of the last 500 million years.
That was a bad day.
You think your day is bad?
Yeah.
Wow. It's hard to believe that did happen.
I know.
It certainly did.
Yeah.
The science is there to prove it, but it's incredible to see something like that too. So if you happen to be in New York, that is something you can see.
Could be a good Your Morning Atlantic field trip.
Why not?
Check it out. All right, well, let's take another little trip. Okay, yesterday we showed you the holiday lights of Paris.
Yeah.
Well, today the Your Morning Jet is taking us to the Kew Gardens in London, England. Isn't it beautiful? They've opened their annual light display as part of the holiday celebrations there. Christmas at the Kew has been on for 13 years now, and it started as a way to get people to come out at a quiet time of year. They're expecting more than 300,000 visitors between now and the first week of January. And this year, visitors can expect to find 8 world-inclusive installations. They are each unique and different. Whoa. And I've never seen some of them like this before. Like, it would be really cool to go.
Absolutely, that's beautiful.
Yeah, to see that in person.
Right? And the music, and gosh, and it's not as cold there in the winter either. I've been to London about this time of year, and it's just, there's a little nip on, but it's not as cold as here. Look at that.
Wow.
So
Crackling
cool.
fire.
Neat.
Ooh, that warms you up on a cold November day.
Right?
Right?
Creative. Love it.
I love those visuals. All right, still ahead on the show, we're going to have another look at your national news headlines, tell you more details regarding the federal budget vote last night. But first, Latavia has her latest look at the Tuesday forecast. Before we know it, we'll be skating on the Halifax Oval.
Yeah. Oh, true.
In the downtown. The ice hasn't been laid out yet, but it will be there before you know it. The forecast is coming up right after this short break. Please stay with us.
Happy Tuesday, Atlantic Canada. The time now is 7:13. We're taking a live look at Charlottetown, starting off at 2 degrees this morning and going to be seeing mainly cloudy skies in your area throughout the day today. Weather is brought to you by the Atlantic Lottery mobile app. Quite a cold start to the day, really right across the region. As of right now, it is -2 degrees in Fredericton, -1 into St. John, New Brunswick, 2 degrees in Sydney with 1 in Halifax. Early this morning in Labrador City, looking at -1, and 4 degrees into St. John's, Newfoundland. Here's a look at the current system tracking across Atlantic Canada. So for the Maritime region, we will be seeing a bit of sunshine for parts of New Brunswick today, but also looking at some scattered flurries to the north. For parts of Nova Scotia, could see a chance of showers and/or flurries, but it's still going to remain quite light if you do get any. And then for Newfoundland and Labrador, we are looking at periods of snow for much of Labrador and looking at some shower activity for parts of Newfoundland. Into the evening hours, we are going to see increasing cloudiness as well as a cold low for today, for tonight, I should say. And then into early Wednesday morning, we are going to see a lot of sunshine, but it's going to remain quite cold across the region, still seeing mixed precipitation for parts of Newfoundland. If you're wondering about our rainfall total, it's going to remain quite light for the Maritime region and only going to see around 2 to 10 millimeters for parts of Newfoundland, only 2 to 5 for parts of Labrador. In terms of our snowfall outlook, only seeing around 1 to 5 centimeters for North Mountain and 1 to 5 for Labrador City. Over to our forecast today for New Brunswick. Lots of sunshine throughout your day. For the northern region, looking at some scattered flurries throughout the day as well. Daytime highs will range from 2 to 5 degrees. And then for Prince Edward Island, looking at mainly cloudy skies today. Wind out of the west, 30, gusting to 50, with highs ranging from 3 to 4 degrees. For Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, looking at a chance of showers and/or flurries throughout your day today, wind gusts of up to 40. And then the rest of Nova Scotia also going to see some isolated showers expected on and off throughout the day, wind gusts of 40 kilometers per hour yet again, and highs between 3 to 6 degrees. For Labrador City, looking at a high of only -1 today with periods of snow throughout your day. 9 degrees for St. John's, Newfoundland, and looking at a chance of showers throughout your day. Wednesday's forecast is going to remain quite cold across the region for our daytime highs yet again. Lots of sunshine returns for much of the Maritime region. Could see some mixed precipitation return for parts of Cape Breton Island. For Labrador, looking at some flurries and/or periods of snow. And for parts of Newfoundland, mixed precipitation expected as well. Into our forecast for Thursday, lots of sunshine yet again, but another cold day ahead. That's a look at your weather forecast. We'll throw things over to Amanda for your national and international news headlines.
Thanks, Latavia. There will not be a holiday election after the Liberals narrowly survived a crucial vote on the budget last night. CTV's Abigail Beeman has details on how the political drama unfolded in the House.
Yeas pour 170, 170. Nays contre 168, 163.
A Liberal minority government on the razor's edge of a majority, 170 seats to the opposition's combined 173, survives this budget confidence test with a tight vote result.
This is not about us. This is about Canadians. And the vast, vast, vast majority of Canadians want us to try to make this parliament work. They do not want an election.
2 of 7 NDP MPs abstained from voting, Gord Johns and Laurie Idloot. So did 2 Conservatives, Shannon Stubbs, whose office said she was on approved medical leave, and Matt Genereux, who announced his resignation after floor-crossing rumors.
Mr. Speaker, I was unable to use my app. I would like to vote no.
2 more Conservative MPs initially appeared to have abstained, citing technical difficulties, including House Leader Andrew Scheer.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, I had technical difficulty. I would like to vote no.
They were both in the House as well. So one could possibly surmise that maybe they were waiting to see which way the vote was going to go themselves before they decided if they were going to abstain or if they were going to vote against it.
The only opposition member to vote with the government?
Can he confirm here on the floor of this House that in passing this budget, the government is committed to holding to as far below 2 degrees as possible?
Green Party leader Elizabeth May, who said this exchange in question period.
I can confirm to this House that we will respect our Paris commitments for climate change and we're determined to achieve them.
Was enough to win her support for this one vote. It all boils down to the minority Liberal government surviving for now, avoiding a Christmas election.
CTV's Abigail Beeman reporting in Ottawa. A quick break here in Your Morning Atlantic. When we return, we'll be putting a highlight on endometriosis. That conversation coming up next. Please stay with us.
Move Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Weekday mornings on Move 100. The most fun in the morning. And home of the $1,000 minute. Only on Move 100 Halifax.
It's now 7:21. Welcome back. I bet you didn't know that endometriosis impacts at least 1 in 10 girls and women. The often painful condition is frequently misdiagnosed and can lead to serious issues, including infertility. The Dalhousie Nursing Society and Awareness Organization are teaming up to host a screening of the film Below the Belt, followed by a panel discussion on women's health. Lauren Rogerson and Mallory Matlock are both Dalhousie University nursing students and women's health advocates, and they join us now live in studio. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Thanks for bringing some light to this conversation. Let's start with you, Lauren. Why are you so passionate about giving your time and energy to promoting endometriosis awareness?
Absolutely. I was sick when I was younger and was diagnosed with something similar to endometriosis. And I went years and years without an answer. My life was severely impacted. And once I finally found that answer and that validation that it wasn't all just in my head, that my symptoms were real and that it had a name, really made me reach out to see the greater community that is dealing with this severe disease and how common it is, and yet it's so under-talked about and undertreated.
Yeah, for those who maybe aren't familiar, in a nutshell, what is endometriosis?
So it is a condition that it's like the lining of the uterus. It's a similar tissue that's growing outside, creating these very painful lesions. But it doesn't just impact the reproductive system, it impacts the entire body, causing full systemic symptoms.
Yeah, I think it's important to get the word out, and this is where you come in, Mallory. This film, Below the Belt, why is this an important film to show people?
This film it's super important for healthcare professionals, everyone to know about. We want to educate people on endometriosis and show them what these symptoms look like, how they can present, how they can affect people's lives.
Why do you think there is so much misdiagnosis? Is it just lack of awareness among health professionals?
There's a lot of myths out there, and you know, we're not brought up, it's not directly in the school systems, and there is difficulty diagnosing and treating, and so even in the Maritimes it can be challenging to find that proper treatment for each individual.
Mallory, these are some clips from the film, and it does look like a powerful sort of documentary style film. There's going to be a panel discussion after the film. Who will be addressing the audience afterward?
Sorry, who will be?
There's a panel discussion. I think you don't have to give me the names, but like in general, the types of experts that will be speaking to the audience.
Yeah, so we're going to have physicians, nurses, and pelvic health physiotherapists there. They're going to talk about their role as healthcare professionals and their role impacting women's health in Nova Scotia. We'll have some touch on endometriosis, and others just touch on other ways they impact women's health in Nova Scotia.
Okay. It sounds like a great opportunity. Who can attend this event?
Everyone can.
Okay.
It's open to the public. We highly recommend future and current healthcare professionals. Anyone in the community that has endometriosis, that knows someone with endometriosis, anyone who's just interested or looking to support women's health in Nova Scotia is welcome to come.
Okay, perfect. And when and where is it?
It is Wednesday, November 26th at Dalhousie, the McCain building at the Ondaatje Theatre. There will be people there to direct you where to go. It's at 7:30 p.m. It's going to about 9:30 p.m. And tickets will be sold in advance, and at the door you can make donations.
Okay, perfect. We'll put that information on our website to make it easy for you to find. Mallory, why are you passionate about getting the word out about endometriosis?
Yeah, as a future healthcare professional, I want to be an advocate for everyone that I encounter in my line of work, especially women. Endometriosis is so underdiagnosed. I want to be there, being able to advocate for them, raising awareness, and just showing my support and love for these women.
Well, we really do appreciate you both coming in, and yeah, you're both in your last year of nursing, so best of luck in the future.
Thank you so much.
And again, we have put that information on our website about the event in case you're interested. It's now 7:26. We'll turn our attention over to Latavia.
Thanks, Crystal. We're taking a look at the 3-day forecast, looking at lots of sunshine for much of the province. We will be seeing scattered flurries to the north, a high of 3. On Wednesday, sunny skies with increasing cloudiness into the afternoon. And on Thursday, a daytime high of 4 with sunshine across New Brunswick. Nova Scotia will be looking at a chance of showers and/or flurries today with a high of 4 degrees. 6 on Wednesday, looking at sunshine for much of the province for Cape Breton, seeing a chance of showers and/or flurries returning. On Thursday, a mix of sun and cloud with evening showers, a high of 5. Prince Edward Island looking at a high of 4 degrees with mainly cloudy skies. Sunshine returns on Wednesday with a high yet again of 4. On Thursday, sunny skies across the island with a high yet again of 4 degrees.
Just ahead in this half hour, encouraging entrepreneurship. In this week's Tia Tuesday, we'll meet a woman who's helping Black and African Nova Scotians build their businesses through a program with NSCC. That's coming up on the Tuesday edition of CTV's Your Morning Atlantic.
You're halfway through the show. Bit of a theme forming today of women helping women.
Love to see that.
Incredible. Great to see those young nursing students in their last year looking to give their own time and energy to, making other women aware. And I should mention that event next Wednesday, the showing of the film and then the panel discussion shining a light on endometriosis, is also a fundraiser for the Orchid Initiative. We've had them on the show a fair bit talking about their work that they've been doing to promote women's health. So it's kind of a win-win-win.
Win-win-win. And it's so, students, they are busy. They are stressed. They work incredibly hard. So the fact that they went ahead and did this on their own time as well.
Yeah, incredible.
And then this half hour, we're going to talk to Tia and Winifred about a program that's supporting young Black women in entrepreneurship. Imagine being a student and also trying to start a business. You'd probably need some support.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about a program that does just that. So busy half hour. Weather-wise, we got to give people what they need. A lot of people haven't left the house yet.
And it is cold outside, so keep that in mind when you are heading out. Still seeing a bit of mixed precipitation track across the region, the heavier being into Newfoundland and Labrador. But for Digby, it is mainly cloudy early this morning. We are expecting a chance of flurries in your area, so keep that in mind when you are heading out. Right now, 2 degrees in your area. So we are seeing another cold start to the day right across the region. Temperatures will remain below seasonal for our daytime highs for the most part. -2 heading outdoors in Fredericton. Early this morning, -1 in St. John, New Brunswick. 4 degrees in Yarmouth with 1 in Halifax. 2 degrees in both Sydney and Charlottetown with 4 into St. John's, Newfoundland. Over to our satellite and radar. So seeing a bit of sunshine for parts of New Brunswick. We are also expecting a chance of showers and or flurries for parts of all 3 maritime provinces. And then for Labrador, looking at periods of snow, could see some mixed precipitation for parts of the province, as well as for Newfoundland, looking at a chance of showers, also seeing a bit of mixed precipitation as well. For a forecast on Tuesday, we are going to, which is today, we are going to see wind pick up yet again into the afternoon. As of right now, sustained wind, 52 kilometers per hour in North Cape, 30 into Canso, as well as into Halifax, 35 in Yarmouth. Wind gusts of up to 61 kilometers per hour right now in North Cape, 41 into Charlottetown, 44 in Moncton, 43 in Greenwood. We'll have another look at your long-range forecast just ahead, but first a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. And we begin in Ottawa. The House of Commons has narrowly passed Prime Minister Mark Carney's first budget, keeping the minority Liberal government in power. The 2025 spending plan survived by just 2 votes to avoid a winter election, 170 to 168. Green Party leader Elizabeth May backed the budget to avoid an election, saying she would support it after Carney committed to meeting Canada's Paris climate targets. New Brunswick Premier Susan Holt says a new package is coming from the federal government to help offset losses in the softwood lumber industry. She didn't reveal any specifics, but says the issue was discussed in a virtual First Minister's meeting with the Prime Minister Monday.
I was pleased to hear Prime Minister Carney state that a new package is coming that he described as significant. So our industry will be looking forward to hearing more details about that as quickly as possible.
Holt is in Newfoundland with the Eastern Premiers and the New England Governors. She says everyone acknowledged the Canada-U.S. relationship is at a low point right now. A 16-year-old youth is facing charges in connection with alleged threats directed at several people, including some students at Amherst Regional High School. After receiving details, local police say they executed a search warrant in Cumberland County on Friday, arresting the youth who was held for court. Police are notifying the individuals who were targeted, but they don't believe there's any ongoing danger to any of them. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Amherst Police Department. A 26-year-old Halifax man is facing a number of charges after an incident involving police Friday night. Police say an officer ran a license plate on a vehicle in a fast food parking lot just before midnight, and it wasn't associated with any vehicle. The officer approached to stop the driver, who backed up and sped away, striking the officer in the process. A short chase on Highway 102 was called off for safety reasons, but police arrested a suspect Saturday morning. He'll face a judge at a later date. In New Brunswick, the family of a man whose body was recovered Sunday from the St. Croix River are speaking out. Police say 41-year-old McKay Thomas was spotted by officers in downtown St. Stephen on Saturday. They approached, but he fled, ultimately entering the water where he went under and never resurfaced. Family members say they weren't even notified Thomas was missing until that night.
The family also has questions on protocol for a deceased body. We had to stand outside with Mackay's body right here for over 2.5 hours, and there's just no dignity for us or for him, and it was heartbreaking.
Police have asked the Serious Incident Response Team to investigate the circumstances. A life sentence has been handed down for a man convicted in a fatal attack the judge called vicious and cowardly and fueled in part by drugs and alcohol. 38-year-old Alexander Charles Howe hosted a small get-together with friends in Spryfield on the night of August 15th, 2023. Tensions grew between him and partygoer Adam Jerome Dempsey, and around 2 a.m., Howe attacked Dempsey with a knife.
It was heinous, it was horrific, and a young man lost his life. The alcohol and drugs certainly were contributing factors here. Not an excuse, not a justification, but it does provide some insight and some explanation.
Howe will be eligible to apply for parole in 10 years, although the judge noted there's no guarantee it would be granted. Curbside recycling in Nova Scotia is set to change on December 1st. That's when new provincial regulations come into effect, broadening the list of items households can put out for recycling. New items include multi-layer paper containers like ice cream cartons or cookie dough spiral cans, and plastic tubes like toothpaste and deodorant. The new regulations aim to shift operational and financial responsibility for recycling packaging and paper products onto the companies that sell and produce them. Finally, fewer snowbirds say they'll be heading south this winter, with many looking to spend the season overseas instead. An online poll from Snowbird Advisor shows a 15% drop in the number of Canadians planning to head stateside. Meanwhile, the number of residents planning to travel to Mexico, Spain, or another warm destination has nearly doubled. More than half of people surveyed said while they are skipping a trip to the U.S. this year, they would consider returning to the future. So a bit of a travel change for snowbirds. At least that's what the online poll says.
Interesting. Well, if you're in this position, gosh, difficult choices. Spain, Portugal, right? Mexico.
Visiting a place maybe you've never seen before.
That would be amazing, yeah.
We went to Mexico for the very first time a couple of years ago to a resort during March break, and that was awesome.
Oh, yeah. Food's good. Food's good. Weather's great. Beaches are sandy and the water's warm. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about food. Other great things, okay?
Yeah.
Skip the Dishes is serving up new data on the top delivery trends across the country for 2025. Thought this was interesting. So BC holds the #1 spot for sushi orders this year. Don't find that super surprising.
No.
Burgers, though. This is the most ordered dish in the country.
Burgers?
Yeah, which is interesting. I wouldn't think of ordering a burger like this, but yeah. But this is the interesting one. The largest order of the year came out of Toronto, but it wasn't even for food. Someone spent more than $1,000 on flowers.
Aww.
Oh, I hope it's romantic.
Me too. I hope
it'd be a big apology.
A big apology.
Take me back.
They're also straight out there with a boombox.
Wow. Anyway, just sometimes, like, the numbers are just, like, you had that story about the snowbirds with the numbers. Sometimes the numbers tell us interesting things.
They really do. And I'm glad, too, that maybe the flowers were for a wedding. Maybe it was, you never know. That's actually our water cooler topic, excuse me. That's our Move Morning Chat conversation. We're asking about memorable weddings you've been to. We've received a few texts so far. So 10400 is the number. We want to know about a memorable wedding that you went to, something that happened there, whether you were a guest or it was your own.
Yeah, That could be maybe there were the flowers did show up for the wedding or something. Maybe emergency order some from Skip the Dishes. I don't know.
Who knew? All right, we've reached the halfway point of our Tuesday show. We hope you stay with us because we have a lot more to come. Right after the break, Latavia will have the latest look at the forecast, and then it is Tia Tuesday. And this week, we'll sit down with a woman who helps entrepreneurs build their businesses. We'll have those details coming up next, 7:40.
Happy Tuesday, Atlantic Canada, and welcome back. The time now is 7:44. We're taking a live look at Cape St. Mary. It is 3 degrees heading outdoors early this morning. It's going to remain quite cool, and we do have a chance of flurries expected throughout your day today. Now, you will want to bundle up when heading outdoors because it's going to remain quite cold across Atlantic Canada. -2 degrees as you head outdoors in Fredericton, 2 in Charlottetown and Sydney, 1 degree in Halifax with -1 in Labrador City, 3 degrees over in Corner Brook, and 4 into St. John's, Newfoundland. Now, we do still have a low pressure system tracking across the region, although quite light for our accumulation for today. We will be seeing a bit of sunshine across New Brunswick as the sun begins to rise, but we do have some scattered flurries expected for the northern region of New Brunswick. Still seeing a chance of showers and or flurries for parts of Nova Scotia. And then for Labrador, a bit heavier of that snowfall, expecting periods of snow throughout your day. And still seeing a bit of mixed precipitation for parts of Newfoundland, but for the most part, looking at showers across much of the province. Into the afternoon, same thing applies, but into the evening, we will be seeing increasing cloudiness. That chance of precipitation clears out for the most part, still remaining in Cape Breton Island, parts of Newfoundland and Labrador as well. And it will be quite cold tonight into Wednesday. We're looking at another cold day ahead, but sunshine returning for the most part. For our rainfall outlook, it's going to remain quite light for the Maritime region, only seeing around 2 to 10 for parts of Newfoundland and 2 to 5 for parts of Labrador. In terms of our snowfall outlook, same thing applies, only seeing around 1 to 5 centimeters of snow accumulation for North Mountain and for Labrador City. Over to our forecast today for New Brunswick. Sunshine starting off the day. We will be seeing a chance of some scattered flurries for the northern region. Other than that, another cool day ahead below seasonal, with our daytime highs remaining between 2 to 5 degrees and pretty light winds starting off the day. For Prince Edward Island, mainly cloudy skies today with highs between 3 to 4 degrees and wind gusts of up to 50. And then for Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, chance of some scattered showers and or flurries throughout your day. Highs between 3 to 6 degrees rather. For the rest of Nova Scotia, some isolated flurries expected throughout your day today. Wind gusts of up to 40. For Labrador City, a high of -1. Looking at periods of snow throughout your day. Showers expected across St. John's, Newfoundland with a high of 9. Wednesday's forecast, lots of sunshine returns for much of the Maritime region. We do still have some isolated flurries returning and mixed precipitation for parts of Newfoundland. Another cold day expected on Thursday. Sunshine returns in our forecast for the Maritimes, Crystal.
Tavia, it's 7:46 and it's Tia Tuesday, so time to share some good news for young entrepreneurs in Nova Scotia. A program called Entrepreneurship in the Making is back for 2026, which is great news for NSCC students and alumni who are aspiring and early stage entrepreneurs. The program is designed to celebrate and strengthen Black and African Nova Scotian entrepreneurship through a partnership between NSCC and Black Women in Excellence. Here to tell us more is Winifred Simpson, project coordinator for entrepreneurship at the Nova Scotia Community College, and Tia Upshaw, founder and CEO of Black Women in Excellence. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Great to have you both here. Tia, this is your baby, this program.
It is.
Maybe let people know how this program's already making a difference.
Well, the program started last year. It's actually called Entrepreneurship in the Making, Bands, Blacks, and African Nova Scotians.
Okay.
Because there's 2 different programs around entrepreneurship in the making.
Oh.
Yes. And the reason it's making a big impact is because I've seen what NSCC is doing. I love it. I'm an alumni at NSCC. But I noticed that in their entrepreneurship space, there's no Blacks and African Nova Scotians going through it or graduating through. Mm-hmm. So I was like, well, I work with that demographic. Why don't I approach NSCC? We did it last year. It was great. We have some amazing businesses, Trey's Kitchen, Custom Creations. She was here a few months back. We have Cheryl Bishop's business, like so many of these small mom and pop businesses that most people wouldn't even look at coming through or bring them through their organization, are able to come through NSC and get the skills and learn the foundations of business from me.
Okay, well, that's cool. So you offer mentorship to these to these women over 11 months?
No, it's actually classes. It's not mentorship. These are cohorts. They have to show up in class. There's activities, there's homework, there's assignments, there's building a business plans, financial projections, like it's hardcore.
Well, this is why I asked if it was how it worked, because it's open to, I'm going to ask you, Winifred, exactly letting people know, but it's open to students, but also alumni of NSCC. Explain that for our viewers.
Yes, so definitely it's open to current students and alumni within 10 years of graduating, so that widens the scope of access to students. And through the program, they do receive, as Tia mentioned, there's mentorship, there's access to connecting with the ecosystem, there's business resources that they're connected to. They get counseling, business counseling, and also I like the part about that they're culturally supported, right? So being in the space where it is that you are with people who resembles you. Yeah, so definitely it is wide into that group.
Yep, and so the applications are open now. When do people, like, when does that close, the opportunity to apply close?
Okay, the applications are open up until this, November 30th. So Sunday, November 30th at 11:59 p.m. So you can sit and relax on a Sunday to apply, if that's the last day to apply, right? And during the week of December 2nd, we do go through the applications, and students will hear back from us the week of December 9th.
Okay.
Yeah, the program does start in January 26th, 2026.
All right, we have about 30 seconds left. Tia, since it's your baby, any last words you want to share with the viewers about this opportunity?
Absolutely. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. We have some seed money we're giving away. We're building out your network. You're going to be educated. You're going to build a sisterhood, a team. You're just going to do wonderful things if you apply for this program. Again, you have nothing to lose and everything to gain.
All right. Well, thank you both for coming in this morning. And we have put the information on our website about the program, but you only have 2 weeks to apply, so get cracking. All right, at 7:50, we'll turn our attention over now to Amanda.
Thank you so much, ladies. Health and medical news now. The new cancer report that experts say highlights a concerning trend in Canadian cervical cancer rates. We'll have those details, one of the topics in Your Health. Data published by the Canadian Cancer Statistics Advisory Committee shows that after decades of progress in lowering cervical cancer rates, there's been a concerning plateau since 2005. Cervical cancer is caused by the human papillomavirus. The Canadian Cancer Society says the stagnant progress in reducing the disease is likely due to lower HPV vaccination rates, a decline in the rate of people getting screened, and gaps in follow-up care. A new study shows women eating ultra-processed foods could be putting themselves at a higher risk of cancer. According to the study, it shows a link between the foods and the development of precancerous colorectal growths in women under 50. Those growths can later turn into cancer. The study from JAMA Oncology included data from nearly 30,000 women. Diets high in sugar and artificial sweeteners were most linked to higher rates of adenomas, such as a polyp, that's more likely to turn into cancer. That was followed by diets high in sauces, spreads, and condiments. Finally, researchers have developed the first new type of malaria treatment in 25 years. New drugs are needed because parasites learn to adapt to older treatments. Testing so far shows this drug not only works well against malaria, it is also effective in slowing its spread. The next step is applying for regulatory approval.
We just have one milestone to pass along for you today. It's a 64th anniversary for Bev and Betty Fowler of Breadalbane, PEI. Hope I said that right.
I hope so too. Breadalbane, PEI. Thank you so much for sharing your milestone with us. 64 years is quite a milestone to celebrate.
Happy anniversary. All right, well, to see your milestone again or to find out how to submit one, visit our website by scanning the QR code on your screen. And a reminder, milestones must be received 2 weeks in advance.
Milestones, brought to you by the Berkeley Retirement Residences. Love this stage of life.
Well, a family of music teachers in Sydney is being honored through a scholarship fund.
As CTV's Ryan McDonald shows us, a project got off the ground after one of the beloved teachers passed away not long ago.
It's been a difficult few months for Margaret Fraser since her sister Catherine, a well-known Sydney piano teacher for decades, died of complications from kidney failure back in June.
She was far too young and had so much more to give.
The Frasers have for generations been a family of music teachers, including Margaret's mother Rosemary, who passed away in 2018, and her father Peter, who at 86 is now retired. Now Margaret Fraser is helping head up an annual scholarship fund in honor of her parents and sister. The goal is to raise $100,000 for people who want to study music in university and come back home to teach in the Atlantic provinces.
Ideally, if we were able to raise more money than that, it would be lovely to be able to provide somebody with full tuition.
Kevin Orrell took lessons from both Peter and Catherine Fraser. He says the family's passion for teaching makes it easy for former students like himself to contribute to the cause.
The family has had a very significant legacy in Sydney. They have been responsible for literally thousands of people that have learned music.
And this family's dedicated their entire life to music teaching.
Kelly Rice was a longtime friend of Catherine Fraser's and a former student of Rosemary's. He sees this as a timely tribute to his lifelong pal.
She wasn't somebody who sort of put herself forward. She put her students forward. She always thought about them.
I'm able to do that because it turns out Catherine Fraser was my piano teacher for more than a decade, and though it's been 25 years since then, I can personally attest that Catherine was more than just a music teacher to me. She was a mentor and certainly a friend. So far, about $15,000 has been committed to the scholarship fund. As for how Margaret's sister might feel about this,
I think she'd be astonished that people are considering giving money in her memory, but I think she'd also be tickled pink.
looking to turn a recent loss into something that hits the right note. Ryan McDonald, CTV News, Sydney.
Beautiful story. All right, we're going to take another look at the 3-day forecast. New Brunswick seeing sunshine for the most part. We do have some scattered flurries expected for the northern region. And then on Wednesday, a daytime high yet again of 3 degrees. Lots of sunshine starts off the day, increasing cloudiness into the afternoon. On Thursday, sunshine returns with a high of 4. Nova Scotia looking at a chance of showers and or flurries today with a high of 4 degrees. On Wednesday, a high of 6. Seeing sunshine for much of the province. A chance of showers and flurries return to Cape Breton Island. And then on Thursday, a high of 5. Lots of sunshine throughout the day. A chance of showers returns into the evening. Prince Edward Island looking at mainly cloudy skies today with a high of 4. Daytime high remains at 4 degrees on Wednesday with mainly sunny skies, and sunshine continues into the forecast on Thursday.
Tuesday, November 18th. Today on Your Morning Atlantic, Prime Minister Mark Carney's government narrowly survived a crucial budget vote last night, avoiding sending Canadians to the polls this winter. Your top news headlines just ahead.
And the holidays aren't just for people. We'll check out some great ideas to get your pet into the festive spirit. That's a little later in Pet Talk on Your Morning Atlantic.
Good morning. It is 8 o'clock on your Tuesday morning. If you're just tuning in, thank you so much. And if you've been following along for the past 2 hours, we appreciate your time. We know it's precious. And also what's precious is that adorable little dog.
I know.
So cute.
Yeah.
Cute and scruffy.
Cute and scruffy. I mean, you two have been pet owners over the years. Do you make a big fuss for your pets when it comes to the holidays?
I used to. Now I'm like, I still buy them treats, but other than that, I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, you're fine.
So the interview coming up is 2 parts. It's pet gift ideas, but also how to kind of manage and keep your pet safe and happy during the holidays for a gathering.
Super important.
And the point that I would be more interested in as a pet owner is that second part, because my dog could steal food like Houdini. And we really have to keep her under control because she's a beautiful, sweet dog. But her one vice was like if you left the room, she would have the charcuterie board like clear.
Wow. I think everyone's dog has done that at one point or another. Amanda's, mine.
Yeah.
Little thieves.
Yeah. So
I think that the problem on my end was getting a dog that can reach the counter.
Yeah.
You know, like the little one.
Honestly, it doesn't matter the size. My little one, Marge, will literally climb up on the couch, onto the counter, or anything she can get onto and eat like bread out of the bread bag. Everything you can imagine when we're gone.
They'll find a way.
And this makes them sick and they don't learn.
I know.
They do
I know.
it again.
It's so true. Anyway, so it's going to be a fun interview coming up. But if you're just watching us now, joining us, it's pretty chilly out there. Latavia's got the information you need. What coat to select today?
Exactly. The heaviest one.
The heaviest one.
If you're
Lots
like
of
me,
wool.
who's constantly cold, yes, then bring out the winter coat. We are seeing cooler temperatures across the region. It's going to remain that way for much of the week. Even when it does warm up on Friday, it's still going to remain seasonal.
Okay.
November warm.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, there we go.
So over in St. John right now, it's a little bit of a clear sky, a bit of cloud coverage starting off your day. We are expecting sunshine into your area a little bit later on. You can see that camera is a bit wet early this morning. It is -1 in your area, so really cold right across the region. As of right now, -2 degrees in Fredericton, heading out in Charlottetown and Sydney at 2, and 1 degree in Halifax, 1 also into Happy Valley Goose Bay, and 4 into St. John's, Newfoundland. So we do still have a low pressure system tracking across the region, going to see a chance of showers and or flurries for parts of the Maritime region. For Newfoundland and Labrador, a bit heavier, but still going to remain quite light. But we are seeing periods of snow and mixed precipitation for parts of both those provinces. In terms of the wind, it's going to start picking up yet again today. 52 kilometers per hour right now in North Cape, with 35 into Yarmouth, 30 in Moncton, as well as into Halifax and Canso. Wind gusts of up to 61 kilometers per hour right now in North Cape, 57 in Yarmouth, 43 into Greenwood, and 39 in Canso. I'll have another look at your long-range forecast, but first another look at your local news with Amanda.
Thanks, Latavia. Prime Minister Mark Carney's government narrowly passed a crucial budget vote last night, with 4 MPs abstaining and Green Party leader Elizabeth May supporting the minority Liberals. Members of Parliament voted 170 to 168 on the confidence motion that could have toppled the minority government and triggered another election. Just hours earlier, May said she would back the budget because Carney assured his commitment to meeting Canada's climate targets in the Paris Agreement. Conservative MPs Shannon Stubbs and Matt Genereux, as well as New Democrats Laurie Idlout and Gord Johns, did not vote. We'll have more details on this in just a few minutes in national news. Nova Scotia is cracking down on illegal seafood by launching a new compliance unit to monitor activity at the wharfs and in seafood plants. Nova Scotia lobster industry generates $1.3 billion in exports every year, but an estimated $400 million worth is never reported, and officials say that has to change.
30% of annual lobster landings in Atlantic Canada go unreported. This represents up to $400 million in lost taxable income for Nova Scotia.
There's going to be eyes on the wharf looking at each transaction. There's going to be eyes looking at the records that are going into the department, which we are by a regulation required to submit.
The 4 new designated inspectors will move over from their current positions in DNR, so there's no budget implications. The family of a man whose body was recovered Sunday from the St. Croix River is speaking out. Police say 41-year-old McKay Thomas was spotted by officers in downtown St. Stephen on Saturday. They approached, but he fled, ultimately entering the water where he went under and never resurfaced. Family members say they weren't even notified Thomas was missing until that night.
The family also has questions on protocol for a deceased body. We had to stand outside with Mackay's body right here for over 2.5 hours, and there's just no dignity for us or for him, and it was heartbreaking.
Police have asked the Serious Incident Response Team to investigate the circumstances. A life sentence has been handed down for a man convicted in a fatal attack the judge called vicious and cowardly and fueled in part by drugs and alcohol. 38-year-old Alexander Charles Howe hosted a small get-together with friends in Spryfield on the night of August 15, 2023. Tensions grew between him and partygoer Adam Jerome Dempsey, and around 2 a.m., Howe attacked Dempsey with a knife.
It was heinous, it was horrific, and a young man lost his life. The alcohol and drugs certainly were contributing factors here. Not an excuse, not a justification, but it does provide some insight and some explanation.
Howe will be eligible to apply for parole in 10 years, although the judge noted there is no guarantee it would be granted. New Brunswick is on track to be a national leader in MS care. The province will be just the second in the country to offer a biomarker blood test that will provide multiple sclerosis patients with fast results.
So once we have an in-house, in the province, this test, when a patient comes to the emergency room, we'll set the blood test like any other blood test. And then we can have the results back in a timely fashion and we'll react on the treatment of this patient.
The savings are in a more rapid diagnosis so that you are not waiting for an MRI. You have a test that gives you a result instantly. MRI is subject to interpretation and subject to delays. This gives us a more rapid quantitative response on where you are with your MS.
The lab at the Chalmers Hospital in Fredericton will have the capability to do the test next year. Over 90,000 Canadians are living with MS. Finally, this one's for the readers. This year's Giller Prize winner has been announced. Sivankam Tamavongsa has won the Giller Prize for the second time, earning the $100,000 award for her novel, Pick a Color. Pick a Color follows a day in the life of Ning, a nail technician and former boxer who challenges stereotypes about women like her. And this year's jury called the author one of the most vital literary voices of the moment.
Well, congratulations to Sivankam.
Yeah,
very incredible.
And well, the cover stands out too. They say don't judge a book by its cover, but if we were going to, it does look great.
It does look
and
fabulous.
you have a copy.
I have a copy. I actually saw it on the table, and my husband had brought it home, and I said, "Oh, I love the cover of this book. Can I take a look at it? Can I read it?" And it was good. Like, I've not done yet, but so far I'm enjoying it very much.
Amazing! What a big prize.
Okay, time to take another trip. I'm offering these free vacations during the show today. This one we're taking us to the vineyards of Italy. This is a robot meant to transform vineyards and how they operate. It's going quite well. Take a look. So the designers hope that it can monitor grape clusters, manipulate plants, and apply spray. But it's the hand element that I find so bizarre. It is actually a robot. Isn't that interesting?
Wow.
And look at that.
Big love.
Spraying, kind of like Spider-Man. But it's so interesting. They're saying that this can help them with labor. But I just like, they're like, we need somebody to give us a hand on the farm.
Oh my gosh, opens up. Whoa.
First it looked like it was fist pumping the grapes.
Yeah.
Like, let me give you a little rub. Love tap.
Yeah, exactly. It can, I guess it can gently pick them. Anyway, you saw it first on Your Morning Atlantic.
I'm just I'm grateful. I was going to say I'm grateful it doesn't have a face, but that almost looks like a little face there on the front, doesn't it?
Yeah. This disembodied hand.
You know when you see faces, I think there's a term for that when you see faces and things.
Oh, there is a face in the front, kind of. I guess it's not, but it looks like almost like a little like Yoda type thing driving in the front.
Yeah, like it looks like two eyes. And
but I don't think that's intentional.
No, I don't think it's either, but.
Look at his little jug on the side with his water.
Now, did you say you were grateful or grateful?
Well, I wish I said grateful. That would have been way better. All right, still ahead, we have a look at your national news headlines and a very festive edition of Pet Talk. And just after the break, too, it's a look at the Tuesday forecast. Good morning to Ingonish. No one playing the Highland Lynx at this hour. Time is 8:10. We'll be right back with your daily highs.
Heading over to Hampton early this morning. Welcome back. The time now is 8:13 on your Tuesday morning. We are expecting sunshine in your area today, although a cold start to the day. Keep that in mind when you are heading out. Currently -1. Weather is brought to you by the Atlantic Lottery mobile app. We are going to see a cool day ahead for much of Atlantic Canada. As of right now, -1 in Fredericton, 2 degrees starting off your day in Charlottetown and in Sydney, 1 in Halifax, -1 in Labrador City, and 5 degrees into St. John's, Newfoundland. Taking a look at our forecast for today, we are going to see a bit of sunshine for parts of the Maritime region, but for the most part, cloudier day ahead, looking at mainly cloudy skies. And we do have a chance of scattered showers for the northern region of New Brunswick, some mixed precipitation for parts of Cape Breton and mainland Nova Scotia. It is a chance of showers and/or flurries, so quite a low chance of it happening. And then for Labrador, we are going to see, for the most part, periods of snow, could see a bit of shower activity as well. And then for Newfoundland, looking at showers as well throughout your day. For the afternoon, much of the same expected. It's not till the evening and overnight hours we start to see a bit of that clearing from that chance of showers and/or flurries still remaining for parts of Cape Breton Island, as well as Newfoundland and Labrador. Taking us into early Wednesday morning, we are going to see a bit of sunshine in our forecast yet again for Wednesday. For our rainfall outlook, it's going to remain quite light for the Maritime region, only seeing around 2 to 5 for Labrador and around 2 to 10 for parts of Newfoundland. In terms of our snowfall outlook, only seeing around 1 to 5 centimeters of additional snowfall into North Mountain and seeing around 5 to 10 in Labrador City. So that's going to be the heaviest of that additional snowfall. For forecast today for New Brunswick, looking at sunshine throughout the day today. For the northern region, though, looking at some scattered flurries and daytime highs between 2 to 5 degrees. Prince Edward Island, looking at mainly cloudy skies today, wind gusts of up to 50 and highs ranging from 3 to 4 degrees. And then for Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, scattered showers and/or flurries expected throughout your day today, wind gusts of up to 40 and highs between 3 to 6 degrees. For the rest of Nova Scotia, looking at some isolated flurries expected throughout your day, highs between 3 to 6. For Labrador City, a high of -1 today. We are going to see periods of snow throughout your day today, and then a chance of showers throughout your day into St. John's, Newfoundland, with a high of 8. For our forecast for tomorrow, we are going to see another cold day ahead, so make sure to prepare for that. A bit of sunshine returns for parts of all 3 maritime provinces, still seeing a bit of snowfall for parts of Newfoundland and Labrador. Into our forecast for Thursday, another cold day ahead. We are going to see sunshine return for the most part, a bit cloudier for Newfoundland and Labrador. That's a look at your weather forecast. We'll throw things over to Amanda for your national and international news headlines.
Thanks, Latavia. Prime Minister Mark Carney's minority Liberal government remains intact this morning after its first budget narrowly survived a confidence vote in the House of Commons. CTV's Abigail Beeman has more.
Yeas pour 170, 170. Nays contre 168, 163.
A Liberal minority government on the razor's edge of a majority, 170 seats to the opposition's combined 173, survives this budget confidence test with a tight vote result.
This is not about us. This is about Canadians. And the vast, vast, vast majority of Canadians want us to try to make this parliament work. They do not want an election.
2 of 7 NDP MPs abstained from voting, Gord Johns and Laurie Idloot. So did 2 Conservatives, Shannon Stubbs, whose office said she was on approved medical leave, and Matt Genereux, who announced his resignation after floor-crossing rumors.
Mr. Speaker, I was unable to use my app. I would like to vote no.
2 more Conservative MPs initially appeared to have abstained, citing technical difficulties, including House Leader Andrew Scheer.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, I had technical difficulty. I would like to vote no.
They were both in the House as well. So one could possibly surmise that maybe they were waiting to see which way the vote was going to go themselves before they decided if they were going to abstain or if they were going to vote against it.
The only opposition member to vote with the government?
Can he confirm here on the floor of this House that in passing this budget, the government is committed to holding to as far below 2 degrees as possible?
Green Party leader Elizabeth May, who said this exchange in question period.
I can confirm to this House that we will respect our Paris commitments for climate change and we're determined to achieve them.
Was enough to win her support for this one vote. It all boils down to the minority Liberal government surviving for now, avoiding a Christmas election.
CTV's Abigail Beeman reporting in Ottawa. A new snapshot on the cost of living shows inflation eased last month, but many Canadians are still feeling the squeeze. CTV's John Benevali Rao on what Canadians are paying more for, even though overall inflation is down.
While the price of gas is still higher than many drivers would like, StatsCan says the cost for that fill-up has been coming down, with prices falling more than 9% compared to a year ago and 4% in the last month. in part as motorists switch to less expensive winter gas blends, along with another big factor.
This is still being affected by the removal of the carbon tax earlier this year.
And at the grocery store, prices also coming down, falling more than 0.5% from September to October, the biggest monthly drop since 2020. While year over year, prices are still up 3.4%.
Maybe I've seen some small relief in some areas, but still generally higher than they have been.
A lot of things are definitely still pretty expensive. Some things are definitely a thorn in my side, like the price of beef, for example.
The 1 month fall attributed in part to the elimination of many counter tariffs on U.S. products.
The food inflation rate dropped, which is certainly good news, and we were expecting it, to be honest. There's less pressure at the border. Counter tariffs are gone now since September 1st, and it's helping. It's helping.
It's all contributing to overall inflation coming in at 2.2% in October, down from the previous month, though notably some items getting a lot more expensive. Cell phone plan prices rising around 7% year over year, as did home and mortgage insurance and car insurance.
When we talk about stickiness of underlying inflation, insurance is really a big issue, and it's a big issue right across Canada. And I'm sure most homeowners and vehicle owners are really feeling this.
Rent also up 5% year over year. Meanwhile, the numbers released today has economists now betting the Bank of Canada will hold interest rates steady for the rest of the year. Jonathan Navalli-Rao, CTV News, Toronto.
Thank you, John. A quick break here on Your Morning Atlantic. When we return, we're talking pet talk and holidays when it comes to your four-legged friends. That's on the other side of this break. Please stay with us.
Move Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Weekday mornings on Move 100. The most fun in the morning. And home of the $1,000 minute. Only on Move 100 Halifax.
8:23, and it is that time of year again when many homes become bustling festive holiday headquarters with family and friends gathering to bring comfort and joy. And if you have a beloved pet, you want to make sure to keep them in mind when hosting an event, both in terms of keeping them safe and giving them gifts. So here with more on festive fun for the furry set, we're pleased to welcome back animal care expert Ariel McTavish. Good morning.
Good morning.
Great to have you in. You brought all kinds of little gift ideas, and I guess now's the time because the selection would be its best right now at Pet Value.
Yep, we're pretty busy for sure.
Amazing. What have you brought in for us?
Yeah, so this year popular things every year, honestly, are the little advent calendars for dogs.
Wow.
Also have them available for cats. All the Christmas seasonal stuffies. We've got little cat catnip toys from Kong in here. There's seasonal treats. Literally anything you can imagine for pets is available at Christmas.
I love the idea of a pet advent calendar.
Yeah.
Then I bet Bear would get. You've brought in Bear. We should probably show Bear. I don't know if it's possible to showcase Bear. He's to a side of
pick him up.
Okay, maybe you can.
Come here, sir.
Bear is coming, everyone. It's worth the wait. His Bear is wearing his holiday jammies.
He's so
festive.
That is so
festive and so cute.
He loves
it. Even your pet can be involved. And yeah, he does actually seem really comfortable.
He's pretty tolerant. Yep.
Yeah. Hi, Bear. Great to have you in again. Oh my gosh,
right,
what a beautiful dog. And well dressed. Oh, there he goes.
There he goes.
That's a great point. Before we get into some of the other things you brought, is one of the tips you wanted to bring for people today was just when you have a pet at a gathering, often they do enjoy the socializing once.
Yes.
My dog always did once it kind of got used to the people having arrived.
Sure.
But when can you tell that the animals kind of had enough?
So for Bear, he'll often start pacing. There's a difference between dog wagging a tail because they're happy and a dog wagging a tail because they're overexcited or a little bit overstimulated. So if you see pacing, tail wagging, grimacing is a really common one, ears back, that sort of thing, avoiding eye contact with people, all of those are a sign that they're kind of hitting their threshold and they're definitely ready to find a quiet place and settle down for a bit.
Great. It's important to keep our mind out for that. Yeah. Now, you brought in a variety of safe and we'll say healthy treats for animals. I know you have a lot of that because a lot of people are tempted to, because the dog's really cute or even the cat, just take a little piece of food from the table and give the animal. Why is that not a good idea?
So if you're in a house that you don't know and you're a guest, generally feeding anything to an animal that you aren't familiar with, don't know what their stomach is like, is not great. Bear doesn't do super well with turkey, so it's definitely a little bit of a touchy time for around the holidays. So it's helpful to have some treats out and available for your guests. to feed the dogs so that they have their special meal. The guests get to give their dog a snack because everybody knows food is love, but we know it's safe.
And look at, you have brought in actual dog-friendly charcuterie board, which is as beautiful as it is functional. Maybe describe a couple of the items on the board for us.
For sure. So we call this the barcuterie board.
Oh, I love it.
So on here we have, these are just some little dog cookies from Bosco and Roxy's. They're a totally regular cookie, except they don't have like eggs, dairy, sugars, all that kind of thing. The icing on them is yogurt based.
Wow.
Yeah, and then in here we have, these are from our house brand, Performatrin Ultra. So these are just some little cookies. They are duck and blueberry, so a nice little crunchy treat.
Yep.
These ones are from Tilted Barn, and they're bacon. These ones are Bear's favorite, so we bring them every time we come here.
I love it.
These are just little dehydrated sweet potatoes, and then these ones are just some little cookies from Crumps.
Wonderful. Well, it's beautiful. That would be fun, especially if you're gathering with other pet owners.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
What is this bowl situation?
Yeah, so everyone likes to do a special Christmas dinner. So you have tons of toppers and fancy little add-ons available to build a nice fancy Christmas bowl for your pup. So in here we just have a little bit of Performatrin kibble, and this is some pumpkin that just comes in a little packet that you can just squirt right in there.
Okay.
And then these are some nice little chicken and pork meatballs to top it off, make it fancy. We've even got sprinkles.
That is beautiful and a fun treat for your pet.
It's a fun little dinner.
Oh my gosh, you've done such a great job of bringing in some fun items. So these are, oh my gosh, that's fun. I just touched it. It's, of course, this is a...
It's a cat toy.
It's a cat toy?
It's a cat toy, yeah. It's a kicker.
Would jump on it?
Yeah. They like the crunchy texture, and it has catnip in it as well.
Oh my gosh. Look how cute. That's so fun. All right, what about this one?
Yeah, so this one is a dog toy. So it's just a nice little tugger, but then when they squeeze it, the little arms pop open, so it's a little bit more interactive for them. Yep.
Oh, here it is. I got it.
Yeah, you're good. There you go.
Oh my gosh, Ariel, you really do have a fun job. Thank you so much. Oh, here we go. See? Hello. Merry Christmas. This is a hoot and a half. Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you always for bringing Bear as well.
Thank you for having us. He really enjoys coming here.
He really is. Well, he certainly... Oh, look at how beautiful. Bear is a gorgeous dog. You'll have to take my word for it. Or we put more information about pet value on our website to make it easy for you to find. It's 8:28. We're going to take a quick break and be back with more of the show right after this.
Coming up in 15 minutes, ribbons, plaques, and trophies. Oh my. A Nova Scotia baker who's earned those accolades for years at her county fair is sharing her recipe secrets in her first cookbook. We will meet the baking queen of the county fair just ahead.
Good morning, Atlantic, Canada. The time now is 8:32, and my, oh my, baking queen of the county fair.
I know.
Yay!
I saw Evelyn walk in.
What a treat.
Excited. And this is her first cookbook. And she's been like taking these trophies for years.
Yeah, and really, like, everybody who puts their best face forward for those competitions is doing their best recipes, but she wins again and again and again, so she's going to share some of her secrets with us.
And it's a perfect day for a warm treat.
Yeah.
Because we are still seeing another cold day ahead. Definitely seeing some mixed precipitation tracking across the region, but not as bad as we saw yesterday.
Okay, that's good.
A little reprieve. Here's a live look at Wolfville early this morning, a bit of sunshine behind those clouds. We are expecting a cold start to the day. Remember that when you are heading out. As of right now, it is 2 degrees in your area. And not much warmer for much of Atlantic Canada. -1 heading outdoors in Fredericton as well as into Labrador City. 3 degrees over in Corner Brook with 5 into St. John's, Newfoundland. 1 in Halifax and 2 degrees in both Charlottetown and Sydney. Here's a look at that low pressure system currently tracking across Atlantic Canada. We are seeing a chance of showers and or flurries for parts of all 3 maritime provinces. And then for Newfoundland and Labrador, same thing applies, but a bit more snowfall and a bit more shower activity for Newfoundland. Over to our current wind out of the west this morning, 52 kilometers per hour in North Cape, 35 into Yarmouth, 33 in Greenwood with 31 in Moncton. Keep in mind wind gusts will continue to rise into the afternoon. As of right now, wind gusts of up to 61 in North Cape, 31 in Grand Manan with 43 in Greenwood, 46 in Moncton. We'll have one last look at your long range forecast, but first one last look at your local news with Amanda.
Thanks, Elsie. The House of Commons has narrowly passed Prime Minister Mark Carney's first budget, keeping the minority Liberal government in power. The 2025 spending plan survived by just 2 votes to avoid a winter election, 170 to 168. Green Party leader Elizabeth May backed the budget to avoid an election, saying she would support it after Carney committed to meeting Canada's Paris climate targets. A life sentence has been handed down for a man convicted in a fatal attack the judge called vicious and cowardly and fueled in part by drugs and alcohol. 38-year-old Alexander Charles Howe hosted a small get-together with friends in Spryfield on the night of August 15, 2023. Tensions grew between him and partygoer Adam Jerome Dempsey, and at around 2 a.m., Howe attacked Dempsey with a knife.
It was heinous, it was horrific, and a young man lost his life. The alcohol and drugs certainly were contributing factors here. Not an excuse, not a justification, but it does provide some insight and some explanation.
Howe will be eligible to apply for parole in 10 years, although the judge noted there's no guarantee it would be granted. Stateside, the U.S. House of Representatives is expected to vote today on legislation to force the Justice Department to publicly release its files on late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. It's the culmination of a months-long effort that has overcome opposition from President Donald Trump and Republican leadership. For more on this, we bring in CTV Scott Hurst. Scott, Trump shockingly reversed course over the weekend, saying House Republicans should vote to release the files. So what is the latest you can tell us there?
Good morning, Amanda. You mentioned a months-long effort as pressure has been building on Republican lawmakers and the White House to release the files related to the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Now, today, we're expected a vote in the House of Representatives. The members are expected to begin debate and take up the issue later this morning and possibly vote on the measure later this afternoon, which was, last week just secured enough bipartisan support to reach this point. And then, as you mentioned, Trump just yesterday and over the weekend seeing his support from Republican lawmakers who themselves are under increasing political pressure shifting on this issue. He reversed course, urging Republicans then to support it. Now, a vote in the House of Representatives at this point appears all but certain to pass, but there are still many steps to get to the process where we might see these files. The timeline is still quite uncertain, Amanda. The bill, after the House of Representatives, will then go to the Senate for a vote, which the Republicans also control, and it's unclear whether the Republican-led Senate would take up the matter. Then it would need to go to the desk of the U.S. president for his signature, which he said yesterday he would sign it, but also Trump does have the authority right now with his signature to compel the Justice Department to release the files. Trump himself has long fanned the flames of conspiracies about the Epstein files, but Amanda, since returning to power, has dodged calls to release them.
So what can you tell us about the bill the House will be voting on? What is expected to be released if it passes?
Amanda, technically the bill is called the Epstein Files Transparency Act and would compel Attorney General Pam Bondi and the Justice Department to release investigative files on late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, which would detail his connections to the rich and powerful, as he had established an enormous network of wealthy and influential connections. And if I can read just a summary of the bill, it says, quote, it includes materials related to his associate Ghislaine Maxwell, flight logs and travel records, and individuals named or referenced, including government officials in connection with the investigation and prosecution of Epstein. Now, in some files that have already been released publicly, we've seen prominent names like former Prince Andrew and Donald Trump as part of Epstein's circle. Trump has acknowledged he was once a friend of Epstein, but claims they had a falling out. And Donald Trump has consistently denied any involvement in Epstein's crimes. Now, also, as mentioning, Amanda, Donald Trump reversing course on saying this vote should go to the House of Representatives. He also has directed his Attorney General, Pam Bondi, to investigate Epstein's ties to prominent Democrats. And so today, specifically, we'll continue to follow what happens in the House of Representatives as they are expected to vote on this after months of pressure building on Republicans and the White House just to get to this point.
Okay, we will have to leave it there. Scott, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thanks, Amanda.
CTV's Scott Hurst reporting live for us from our national newsroom in Toronto. Finally, in New Brunswick, the Sea Dogs will be rushing up the St. John River to play a few home games in Fredericton. It's a chance to show off the junior game and test the waters for possible Q League expansion to the capital.
November 30th, we have the Capital City Series in Fredericton, the first time that CHL hockey is being, CHL regular season hockey is being played in Fredericton.
A total of 3 junior hockey games will be played at the Aitken Centre over the next few months. Atkins Centre over the next few months, which is home to the UNB Reds. And in the past year, the Acadie Bathurst will remember the T10. They moved to Newfoundland, leaving just the Sea Dogs and Moncton Wildcats in New Brunswick. So that first game is going to be November 30th. Something you could add to the community calendar.
Absolutely. And now we're going to take a look at the community calendar and see what's highlighted across the region. So we are going to start off with Juno Award-winning Canadian indie folk band, the Strumbellas, are heading to Moncton. On November 19th at 8 p.m., you can watch them perform at the Casino, New Brunswick. Halifax singer-songwriter Braden Lamb will also take the stage. To get tickets, head over to the website on your screen. And a free seniors luncheon will be held in Summerside on November 19th. All seniors are welcome at noon, for a delicious meal, sweets, and tea or coffee. The luncheon will be held at St. Paul's Catholic Parish Church. For additional information, you can head over to this website. And the Wonder Woman, the Music Room Chamber Players series, returns in Halifax. Pianist Sarah Hagen delves into the remarkable stories and piano music of female composers from the 18th and 19th century. This performance will be held Wednesday, November 19th as well, from 7:30 p.m. until 9. For tickets, head over to the Music Room's website. And if you do have an upcoming event, we'd love to hear the details. Send it over to Your Morning Atlantic at ctv.ca.
Thanks, Latavia. And still ahead, recipes from Nova Scotia's most decorated baker. We'll meet the Nova Scotia woman who's known as the baking queen of the Hands County exhibition. That's coming up next in the Your Morning Atlantic kitchen.
Time now is 8:43. We're taking a live look at Cape Smokies. Starting off at 3 degrees this morning, we are expecting flurries and/or showers in your area. Something to keep in mind when you are heading out early this morning. It is quite cold right across Atlantic Canada today and will remain below seasonal for your daytime highs for much of the region. So when you're heading outdoors, -1 degree in Fredericton, 2 degrees starting off your day in both Charlottetown and Sydney, 1 in Halifax, -1 over in Labrador City, and 5 degrees starting off your day in St. John's. Over to our forecast timeline, a bit of a cloudy day ahead. We are also seeing a bit of sunshine for parts of the region, specifically into parts of New Brunswick and Prince Edward Island. We are going to see a chance of some scattered flurries for the northern region of New Brunswick and seeing a bit of mixed precipitation expected for parts of Cape Breton and mainland Nova Scotia. A chance of showers and/or flurries will remain. For Labrador, we're looking at, for the most part, periods of snow throughout your day and a bit of mixed precipitation for parts of Newfoundland, but for the most part, seeing showers. Over to the afternoon, much of the same is expected, taking us into the evening and overnight hours. Still seeing a bit of mixed precipitation across parts of Atlantic Canada. And it's going to remain quite cold into the lows for tonight, carrying into early Wednesday, where we do have sunshine for the most part in our forecast, but also going to see a bit of mixed precipitation for parts of Cape Breton Island and parts of Newfoundland. Still seeing a bit of snow for parts of Labrador. If you're wondering about those precipitation totals, you're going to see it's going to remain quite light for parts of the Maritime region and only seeing around 2 to 5 for Labrador and 2 to 10 millimeters for parts of Newfoundland. And then for our snowfall outlook, that's where we're getting to the centimeters, 1 to 5 expected for parts of Cape Breton Island and seeing around 5 to 10 for Labrador City. For forecast today for New Brunswick, as I had mentioned, a bit of sunshine, but also some scattered flurries for the northern region of the province. Daytime highs will range from 2 to 5 degrees and pretty light wind across the province as well. Prince Edward Island looking at highs between 3 to 4 degrees, mainly cloudy skies today, wind out of the west, 30 gusting to 50. For Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, we are going to see a chance of showers and/or flurries. Daytime highs between 3 to 6 degrees and wind gusts of up to 40. Same thing goes for the rest of Nova Scotia, wind gusts remaining at 40 kilometers per hour. But we are going to see a chance of flurries today for this part of the province, highs between 3 to 6 degrees. For Labrador City, a high of -1. We are going to see periods of snow throughout your day and a chance of showers for St. John's, Newfoundland, with a high of 8. Wednesday's forecast remaining quite cold. We do have a chance of showers and flurries for parts of Cape Breton Island. Still seeing a lot of sunshine, though, for the maritime region. For Labrador, a chance of flurries and/or periods of snow and mixed precipitation for parts of Newfoundland. Into Thursday's forecast, much of the same, but we are going to see a bit more sunshine for parts of Atlantic Canada, but going to remain quite cold, Crystal.
Thanks, Latavia. It's 8:46. Now, you're going to love this interview. Plenty of home bakers make delicious goods, but our next guest pies top the podium. Since 1965, Falmouth, Nova Scotia's Evelyn Strong's sweet treats have been recognized as the best at the Hants County Exhibition Bake-Off, making her the most decorated baker in living memory at the exhibition. Now she's sharing her remarkable recipes in her first book, Baking Queen of the County Fair. And we're very pleased to have Evelyn join us now. Good morning, Evelyn.
Good morning.
You're going to make for us your prize-winning apple pie.
Yes.
It starts with the dough. Any secrets to the dough?
Well, you just have them not too warm. They want to be cooled. And then you just roll them out and put your pie in, apples in the pie, and then you just go from there. And
okay. You've already got the apples prepared for us.
Yes.
Any particular kind of apple?
Those are Spies.
Okay. They look great.
And they're supposed to be a good apple pie.
Okay. They're good at pie baking apple. Yes. All right. The book is wonderful, and it really does have, it's full of all your prize-winning recipes and then some family favorites. Tell us a little bit about how you got into baking. I understand your parents owned a lumber yard.
Yes, they did, and she used to do a lot of baking, and we used to help her. And I just kept doing it, and then the exhibition come around, and I started putting stuff in the exhibition, and so I've been cooking ever since, and that's been around 50 years.
Amazing. And you're very honest in the book about the process. You admitted that it took you many years before you started to win awards.
Yeah, well, a little bit, yeah.
Which is great. And so if people did get your book, there's really everything you'd need to follow in Evelyn's prize-winning footsteps. She has the ingredients. For example, you always use magic baking powder.
Yes, I like magic baking powder, and I like Robin Hood flour, too.
And salted butter, always. Yeah. You're my kind of gal, Evelyn. Okay, great. Tell us a little bit more about the pie you're making.
Well, it's an apple pie, and I put sugar and spices in the pie. And then I stir it up.
And I'll bring it closer to you, Evelyn, make life a little easier. There you go.
And then I stir it all up, and then I put it in the pie. And
are all these apples going to go in this pie?
Most of them. Now, I usually have a
helping. What do you like to make the most?
Well, I like cakes and a lot of the squares and cookies, and I usually just go and whatever I seem to need, I cook.
Yeah, this is interesting. You were saying about the process of getting ready for the fair. It takes you about, all the baking's fresh.
Yes.
Say you take a week and a half to do it, and you kind of just let the spirit move you as to what you're going to bake on any given day. I think that's fun.
Yeah. Whoops.
Look at that dough.
Oh, I left it too long.
No, it's working.
Yeah.
It's fun to watch the master at work here. Now, you brought your daughter with you. You have 4 daughters.
Yes.
Did they help you with the cookbook?
Oh, they helped me a lot with my cookbook. If it hadn't been for them, I had never been able to get it done.
Well, why did it take you so long to make a cookbook? Because I bet people had asked for your secrets.
Well, I just never did, and then they decided that I should show my recipes, so I said, well, I guess I could, and so it just started from that, and then I just went and got the book started, and then it just kept getting the recipes all up to order, because my recipes are usually ones that I bake all the time, and I know a lot of them, so I just don't.
I'm just watching you do this, just how you finish the edges of your pie is beautiful. Oh, and then you do the fork. Okay. Now, the book's been out since September. What has the response been from people about having the book out?
Well, they all seem to think that it's a good book, and they want to get it to their family and friends, and they've been buying it for Christmas gifts this year.
Oh, that's a great idea. Okay, Evelyn, you have one baked. Should I go grab it out of the oven?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell us where we can get, I know you're actually live tomorrow signing books in Windsor.
Yes.
So where will you be?
Well, I've been to all the stores down Halifax and Dartmouth that have them, and New Minas and Truro.
Okay.
And then I sign mine at home, and I just have them all ready to give to people.
All right, please cut the pie where the control room wants me to taste it, because if I taste it, that means they get to taste it. Thank you so much for coming in today, Evelyn. This is a real treat. Literally. Okay, I'll just grab a piece. Can I just grab a piece out of here? Okay, wonderful stuff.
I have a plate here for you.
Oh, she's got a plate. Wonderful. You know what we need is a good pie lifter. Oh, wonderful. Okay, we have to go. Evelyn, thank you so much for coming in. You can get Evelyn's book wherever books are sold. Wow. That is good. Evelyn, thank you so much. Oh. It's 8:52. We need to take a break. Holy moly. I wasn't prepared for that tastiness level. Thank you so much.
Well, you're quite welcome. I'm glad to be able to do it for you.
Yeah, you know.
That's to Evelyn. Now we want to share our Move Morning Chat answers. We were asking about memorable moments at weddings. Joanne from Moncton says, my friend had a Halloween wedding. All the guests were in costume.
Whoa.
They even did a zombie skit. Best wedding I've been to.
Good one.
Linda from Halifax, I was married August 1981, and the reception was at the Best Western St. Margaret's Bay. The wedding planner from the hotel, Mr. Fairfax, came out, stood in the middle of St. Margaret's Bay Road. We know that's a busy one. Put his hand up, stopped the traffic so that the wedding party and guests could drive into the hotel to park. And then later that night, some of the wedding party went back to Queensland, went swimming in Queensland Beach with their tuxedos on.
Wow, what a way to celebrate.
Pam from Halifax is spilling the tea. I won't say whose wedding it was, but they got married in a dance hall by a judge. When they were doing the rings, he put his wrong hand up and the bride hit his hand. It was mostly his family there, as the bride didn't have a big family. She was hoping no one saw her smack his hand, but almost everyone in the hall saw it and burst out laughing. This was back in the 80s. Very funny when I look back and think about it.
Hilarious.
Kim from Dartmouth says, back in the 90s, a friend of mine was getting married. After they both said their I do's, the priest finished his sentence, I now pronounce you husband and wife, etc. There was this long moment of silence right after it, and then suddenly, bursting from the ballroom beside us was the song, I Want to Bop With You, Baby. The entire place cracked up. I was weak. That's still my funniest moment at a wedding. Still makes me laugh to this day. Denise from Halifax says, I was a guest at nephew's wedding. That was the day Hurricane Earl landed here. It turned out to be lovely. We lit the room with altar candles. Luckily, a family member had a generator to bring for the DJ. They had a beautiful wedding. Finally, we have the photo, too, for this. Kathy from Center Burlington says, we were just married this past October. The Toronto Blue Jays, they won their game the night before, so we surprised everyone when we came back in to be introduced as Mr. and Mrs. by wearing our Jays shirts and hats. Love it.
Incredible. Thank you so much.
Well, thanks to everyone who wrote into us. We'll see you tomorrow bright and early at 6 a.m. Bye.